Hey everyone, this is Andrew, producer of the show. As we said last week, Garnet and Shane are currently out on assignment in Las Vegas covering the Capcom event. They'll be back next week along with Sean, and we'll get the regular crew back together for a full-on One-Up Yours reunion. In the meantime, I thought it'd be a good idea to bring back a classic episode of One-Up Yours that maybe some of you have missed. It's from 2 years ago at the end of E3 in 2006 in Los Angeles, one of the last real E3s. It's been a really, really busy week, so we got a bunch of people together at the pool at the Hotel Figueroa and just had some beers, talked about E3, talked about games. Probably got a lot of stuff wrong, but probably got some things right. Had a couple of guests drop by, like Adam Sessler from G4. And it's one of my personal favorite episodes, one of the best ones I think we've ever done. So I hope you enjoy it. Let us know on the boards. And until next week, we remain a ghost.
This is the One-Up Radio Network, and you're listening to the One-Up Yours podcast live poolside at the Figueroa Hotel. It's pretty awesome, man. E3 is done.
Beautiful, dude.
Thank God it's over.
It's time to reflect on what we've seen and played.
I know. Oh, look, and here's even better is people with large quantities of alcoholic beverages in their hands.
We're not encouraging the kids to be, thank you.
Dude, they hate it when you call them the kids.
But let's be honest.
They do hate that.
This is what E3 is all about.
I'm old.
So when everyone gets mad when we don't give them an agenda, here's the agenda for today. We're going to talk some shit about some games, and it's going to go on for a little while, and then we'll get to the end, and you'll wish we had done more.
Excellent.
That's pretty much what
we can go a little longer than usual today.
I think so. No, I think today is kind of just, we'll just talk until we feel like the wind has left our sails.
We all need to just relax, have a good time, not worry about it.
All right, so we're going to have lots of guests here today. Let's let the initial group here get their deets in.
Well, Shane Bettenhausen, the executive editor of Electronic Gaming Monthly, I'm back and happy to be here. And I'm going to introduce a good old friend, Cameron Davis of Angry-Gamer.net. The hyphen is what confuses me. Yeah. Earlier, Garnet called it Angry-Gamer.
I like it.
That's not what that is.
I'm going to buy that now.
Yeah. But
that's amazing.
He's our friend from Down Under. Excellent guy.
Thanks, man.
Offering that sort of pretentious European cred.
Even
though Australia doesn't really count as European.
Because we don't
accents are hot.
And
I'm Luke
filling
Smith.
in for John Davis.
Yeah, I'm here again. One-Up News.
It's good to have you here.
All right, so...
Yeah, and John actually took off, but he sent me this email. Did you see that email, Skip, that he sent?
Yeah.
About Ed Freeze coming up with a controller that reads your freaking mind.
Awesome.
That is amazing. God, I love Microsoft, and I will talk about it later.
I'm sure you will.
We'll talk about it anytime.
I'm just so happy with them.
You're nuts.
So, Garnet, you're fearless leader. What are we talking about first?
What are we talking about first? Well, I don't know. Let's take us into
give us your unique Australian perspective on the
Australian, the Aussie perspective.
Okay, there was one thing that was worth flying for 14 hours for.
And that was?
Wii.
Oh, God.
I agree.
Get me the fuck out of here.
What? Seriously?
Are you kidding me?
Man, I'm gonna hate. I'm gonna hate because I'm gonna say that after I was hyped for it beforehand, and I was actually buying into the pre. Oh my God, Nintendo could capture it, and now I'm like, wait a minute, you're right. It's a GameCube peripheral.
I am right.
GameCube peripheral.
You know who didn't like it when I told her that was Perrin Kaplan today.
I bet she didn't.
She called me an asshole.
Well, she kind of knows something then. I mean,
I think
those two are not related.
I think you guys didn't play the right games. I think
Wii Tennis wasn't the right game.
You don't like
that. Was awesome. I did like Wii Tennis, but you know what? I like Wii Tennis, and I would have liked it on the GameCube if you made the controller a fucking peripheral.
It was great when it was a $40 game you plugged into your television. Just what's that Zavix thing, right?
And I'm not trying it's early still with the Revolution. The 27 games that they showed are early. Some of them work better than others. Yeah. The new peripherals that they showed, like the light gun's cool. I'm glad they unveiled the Smash Brothers game. Like that fills a hole.
Yeah.
And even more interesting was the guys behind it. I can't remember his name, but said no, we're not really using the fucking accelerator-ometer technology.
The accelerator-ometer.
Yeah, he was like, we're not going to really use that. So it's going to play like a conventional Smash Brothers game, which is great. I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome. But the Wii stuff, the tennis stuff, I wasn't really that into. I thought that the orchestra game was a little undeveloped, and it could not be a bigger bitch to aim at the bow and arrow.
My official review of Wii is E3 is not a good environment to play it in because
E3 is not a good environment.
Every game I played, especially Zelda, they tried to make you do so much so quickly, and when you're actually playing a game, you have a lot of time to like slowly learn these things, and Zelda will hold your hand and teach you how to do the bow. But here, you have to do everything in the span of 2 minutes.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's very disorienting. I felt like I was retarded. I couldn't do anything, and like
that had nothing to do with the setting.
Yeah, but this isn't the place to be. Like, it took me a while to realize it's more subtle motion. You don't need to move it around a lot. It's a tough thing to get all at once.
I accidentally punched one of the attendants while I was doing tennis.
Really?
Smacked
someone. I know somebody who accidentally threw a controller.
I Bangkoked the guy that was showing us accidentally. I was like, that is a fierce backhand, isn't it?
But
as he's doubled over.
I will say, like, the best Wii game.
Dude, is he like speaking code again?
He is.
Bangkok? What the hell?
Don't ask about it. But no,
I'm teaching you some Australian sex dance.
Only pain awaits you if you ask that question, Garnet.
But I think the best games were the simplest games. I had a lot of fun with them. I can imagine playing them for hours, like WarioWare and the tennis.
Yeah.
And the
Well, you know why it couldn't
awesome.
be? You know why it couldn't be just an accessory? Here's the problem. If you add an accessory like that to a console, you're never going to get that uptake. You're always going to have that problem. Developers looking at it and they're saying, "Oh shit, do I develop for the guys that have the controller, or the ones that don't?" So they had to make it as a separate console.
I would go one further than that and say they had to make it a separate console because the GameCube is a dead console.
Well, that's them, dude. They fucking left it for dead.
I know.
Whoa.
No. And the games they announced aren't even here. Like, I want to play Super Paper Mario.
The Paper Mario thing was
Super
so
Paper Mario
good.
sounds awesome.
It sounds
and it's not
so
here.
fun. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks a
That
lot.
was a game I really wanted to play, and it was not available.
What was the best GameCube game on show? What, Pac-Man Rally? Like,
I didn't.
Well, I mean, there were almost no Xbox or GameCube.
Wait, there were GameCube games here?
Yeah, like 2 or 3
in third-party booths. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just naming by time.
But so we talked about Wii. Okay, that's what you're into.
Well, I don't want people to think that I didn't like the tennis game because Skip and I had a blast with it. When we were in there, like they moved people out of the way, and we got in there, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
My argument continues that you will not have more fun playing a game this year than you will have drunk in your living room with 3 friends playing WarioWare. I swear.
I can buy that. I can totally buy that.
I can.
Yeah.
I can buy into that.
That's the truth, man.
And as long as it comes out at $199.99, then I'm there, and I'll see you there.
You love Microsoft, and Peter Moore told you to buy one. So
yeah, exactly.
I
do love Microsoft, and Peter Moore did advise me to buy one.
He compels you to buy one.
He said,
price compels you.
He said you can get. God, he's not Jesus. Master Chief is.
Mr. Chief?
No, yeah, totally. Either or, man. I'm gay for both.
But there was a lot of it that...
Nothing does it for me like a man in a robot
I want to
suit.
I want to segue to about PS3 because people are calling me Sony Bettenhausen about this. And so I still
never call you that.
I still want to believe.
I still believe.
I still want to believe so badly.
The PS3 will be awesome next year.
We got it. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Metal Gear Solid 4 and Final Fantasy 13.
You know, we got to
lots
get
of
him
other good games coming out.
We got to get him a poster that's like, I want to believe, and instead of a spaceship, it'll have like a PS3.
I will like say, the monolith vision of the PS3.
It'll be like the X-Files. It'll be the S-Files.
I think it's going to be a good launch. I'm really excited about it.
I think it's going to be an okay launch.
I think it's going to be good. But E3, rocky start. They highlighted the wrong stuff. Some of the stuff wasn't impressive. And
except for Assassins, dude. Assassins was freaking
unbelievable.
awesome.
And next year at E3, it's gonna be great. And
man, Assassins is like that close to almost being enough that I'd drop some serious bucks for a console.
And Microsoft doesn't really have that many good exclusives. We've talked about this. Like Mass Effect is great. Gears of War are great.
How many do they need? They got fined by with like 2 big titles.
Right.
Well, they're gonna have.
You know what? I kind of disagree with your argument now because they've got Halo,
Fable, Mass Effect.
I'm talking when they're fighting PS4.
Just
okay,
that's
fine. We won't get into that.
I mean, I think the big story is going to be Wii and Wii and PS3 launching within a week or 2 of each other, and what's going to happen. The pricing structure, how many people can ship. I mean, if people want to buy PS3 and you can't get it and it's $600, and Wii's are there and it's like $250 and it's everywhere. That could be quite a fight.
Or if there's plenty of 360s.
That's another thing. If Gears of War comes out the same day, if they're smart, it will. If all those things come out the same day, that's like the best day of gaming.
It'll be awesome, and it'll be an awesome day to be at the register, and it'll be an awesome day to watch the.
And we're all gonna be really poor afterwards.
Well, I'm not gonna be really poor because I'm not getting a PS3, and I'm just not. Dude, $600 is too high for me.
Like, he's gonna be poor because he's not buying one to sell it on eBay.
That's the thing.
Dude, if you get one, sell on eBay.
Yeah, I would get one to sell on eBay.
It's gonna be hard
That's it. Sorry.
So we got ourselves into Mass Effect. Did you get into Mass Effect today?
No, I was in Mass Effect. I saw it before.
Oh, so you saw it the other day. So you had already seen it, and you've seen it.
All of us except for Shane.
Did you get a chance to see it?
No.
You didn't get to see it.
Oh my god, dude.
Wow.
I saw. I was too busy. I had appointments all day.
You didn't go see it?
I had no free time today.
You totally cannot talk about Mass Effect if you didn't see it.
I know.
The freaking game is
I literally had no time today.
We talked about it a lot yesterday, but for me, that was the game of the show. It was just having Casey Hudson go through it and having him.
We talked about it yesterday, but most people are saying either that or Spore is game of the show.
Yeah, for me,
it's kind of unfair for Spore to win game of the show every year because it will for the next 4 years probably. No, but because they're gonna, it's going to come out next year for PC, and then they're going to announce it for console.
Imagine if like Will Wright and like Blizzard ever made, or Bill Roper made a game. God, they'd never finish.
Yeah. But it would be great.
It would be great. Well, who knows? They'd never finish it.
Maybe Will Wright and that dude from Hellgate London can team up and deliver something in 2040.
That's Bill Roper. And Dave Brevik. Actually, Dave Brevik is older too.
So my PS3 is like, I think Rocky Start. I think it's still going to be a success. Launch will be like, moderately successful. But I must say, the wind's taking a little bit out of my side.
You should enjoy that right there. He said it would be a Rocky Start.
No, it's going to be a Rocky Start, and I think that it's going to be in North America because fucking I yield. I wave the white flag in Japan.
Like it's going to sell out. Like it's going to sell out.
Yeah, it's going to sell out.
I'm talking Rocky Start in terms of like quality, like dominance from the get-go.
I think that every launch has that sort of struggling, sort of meandering garbage launch, and we're going to see that again with Sony.
That was a pretty authentic.
And we saw it.
But you know what? I think PS3 will have that 360 didn't. I think that the 6 months after launch will be full of games, whereas the 6 months after launch for 360
I don't know. I
devoid of games.
Why do you think that? No, what are you basing that on?
Because they have a huge pipeline. They have way more stuff to develop because of Japan. Because Japan has like 100 games in development. Like those things will be coming out, and 360 doesn't have that. It's true.
But how many of those pipeline Japan games do you think are really going to see the light of day here? I mean, are we going to see train simulators now on PS3?
I think we might see everything. They're talking about universal SKUs. They're talking about no region coding. I mean,
but that doesn't mean necessarily like regionless publishing. That's
I think SCEA might. Yeah. But I don't know.
Be cheap.
Or more importantly, will we see Taz PS3?
You mean Gaz? You mean Tiger? What are you talking about? But
it's like a crossover. It's Ty and Gaz together.
But I was going to say, so about 360, I think Gears of War is awesome. I think that Mass Effect is awesome for everything I've heard. But like a lot of other games, I'm not that into. Like,
I mean, we talked about Too Human, and I talked with we were talking about it earlier.
So you talked.
I saw it today, and I talked with Dennis today.
What did he tell you?
He asked. I said, "Well, what did you think?" Like, he stops. He goes through his whole thing. He goes through like a half-hour-long thing, and it ends. And he's like, "Well, what did you think of the game, Luke?"
I think you have the arrow the wrong direction.
So Dennis is a really good guy.
He's an extremely good guy, and you can tell immediately that he cares about the game. And his presentation was filled with like, we created this just for E3. It's and caveats, and like I know it runs like shit.
Yeah.
And I said, listen. He said, what do you think? And I said, I think you have a long way to go. Like given everything,
this thing comes out in like 4 months.
It wasn't an E3 demo. Well, it wasn't ready.
He says, well, it wasn't an E3 demo. It wasn't anything he wanted to make. It was just like a diversion that they had to put together because Microsoft probably, and this isn't from him, but Microsoft probably pressured him to get it ready because they wanted to show it. And maybe it would have been more effective for Microsoft to feature, and I know it's not an MGS Studios game, but something like Lost Planet, which Garnet had me go see, and was like, dude, you got to check out Lost Planet. And I was
that was great.
I was like, what the hell is Lost Planet? And I went and played it, and that was some Starship Troopers awesome.
It's really simple, but it is fun and it is good.
Even versus Gears, which they're both like aping that RE4 camera, the over the shoulder, which fucking
everybody's
I swear to Christ, if fucking Master Chief is over the shoulder shit, I quit gaming. I am done. If Master Chief, if that shit is over the shoulder, I'm done, Bungie.
So do we know anybody at Bungie who could make that happen for us? I mean, even just a demo.
Demo. The two trends are Resident Evil 4 camera, and
Luke will be all.
Korea is taking over gaming. That's my other trend. We'll talk about that later.
God, Korea.
Wait, what?
I noticed today. I realized community realization that Korea is taking over gaming. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I think go more power to them.
It's finally happened.
Every person is carrying a giant bag from Korea, and they have like 6 booths. It's crazy.
All right then.
But no, like one thing I really liked about, and I played Gears finally today. I got to sit down with it, play multiplayer, and Morgan Webb was on my team, and that was like some bad.
Oh well, you're done.
Dude, the first thing she did was like the dude was like at our show. He's like at our session. He's like, sit down at your computer.
Do you think she's hot?
Not really.
She thinks you're hot.
She's not your type.
She's a wonderful young lady.
She's not your type, right?
Who the camera does no favors.
No, well, whatever. I'm not gonna comment on someone's personal appearance. It's fucking tacky. So the guy.
Hey, I had to try and bait him out at least a little bit.
I was trying to find out if she was his type.
We get to the Gears thing, and the dudes say, like Skip was sitting right behind me. The dudes say, when you sit down at your kiosk, don't touch anything. Fucking sit there, put your headset on, and don't touch anything. She sits down like a seat away from me. First thing she does is press start because the shit says press start. What the fuck, ladies? Listen up when a man tells you what to do. So she has to have her Xbox 360 restarted, and the whole time I'm sitting there fucking stoked as shit to be playing Gears of War, and Morgan Webb is fucking restarting her Xbox 360 because she couldn't listen to the man, and I was like, please put her on the other team if you could. anyway, so we played Gears.
Prima donna.
We played Gears, and it was great. It was everything that I wanted it to be, except the environment that they had you tested in was 4-on-4, but it would have been awesome with the headset, because the way Gears is played is you've got that RE4 constricting camera. It obscures a ton of your vision, and it's the type of game that is going to allow a lot of tactical options. And one thing and what I want to get back to is Lost Planet versus Gears. Lost Planet has this thing where if you click the little mini triggers on the Xbox 360, you turn to the 90 degrees, and that shit needs to be standard.
That works really well.
That is awesome. That is just awesome. I love it in Lost Planet. And it's like a bug zerg, and you're just switching around.
See, that's why it's perfect. It's perfect for Lost Planet because it is so zergish. I mean, it is totally like these bugs everywhere, and you get right in the middle of that, and that's when you need it, so you can do that like that. Gears, I don't know that you're going to hit with that same density of enemies at the same time,
Yeah, and they're not as fast.
Gears is probably going to be more atmospheric, slower pace, more like...
Although the level that Cliffy demoed at the press conference was really, really chaotic and action-packed. I was extremely surprised by it. It was not what I'd seen from the game.
I really like in Gears, too, when you hold the A button to run, that camera, and I think you and I might have talked about it.
That's my favorite thing.
The camera has some fucking inertia behind it.
Sega, you see Sega showed a game, the one made by Bizarre Creations. It's called The Club. The Club. And it has that throughout. It's like all the time. It looks really cool.
I thought it looked really cool in Gears, too.
I hope it comes out for Wii, though, actually. They're not saying, but it's not really an FPS, that game. It's more like an arcade-style shoot, like a light gun game.
So here's the thing about Wii long-term. I've got an HD TV. You've got an HD TV.
We barely have HD TVs in Australia, so screw that.
I'll have one.
And he'll have one. At what point in time are you going to get tired of watching your Wii games run up to higher definition on a scaler where it doesn't look good?
Friday after E3.
Zelda's supposed to go 7... I think Zelda does 720i or something.
And if the whole point of Wii is to play it while you're drunk, you're not going to care.
Right.
It's going to be a blur anyway.
Be drunk, dude.
All right.
I don't think they're going to market it that way, though, guys.
If they're smart, they're marketed to children, mothers, and total alcoholics.
Well, that could be all three. Yeah, that's fine.
Why not?
Why? One ad and Playboy will seem to handle that for you.
My mother's an alcoholic. That's fine.
She loves Wii. She can play brain training while totally drunk.
Excellent.
That's going to lower your brain score. I found that
we should do drunk training.
We talked about this last week, though, off the air, about how after a hard night of drinking, man, that brain age shit goes up.
Oh, yeah. Next morning, you're like, Sunday, I'm 47 years old.
I'm retarded.
Speaking, we need to find Garnett another drink.
I'm halfway through this beer here. Hey, okay. So you were worried about Prey, so I went over to the 2K booth today to chase down Chris Reinhardt. No, because Chris is cool. I mean, we did that whole cover story, so I got to know the guys who put the game together, and I asked him about that, walked up to him, and I was talking to him. I said, so how's the show going? And he's like, oh, it's cool and all. And I said, so the 360 version. And he's like, he looks at me, and he says, those fuckers at Venom.
I mean, the control. You said they messed up the control. It's too sensitive.
Like 2 weeks ago, without warning them, they put a new control set into the build, and they're like, okay, here's your E3 build. And they're like, what the fuck? Why did you do this? And I'm like, man, that really...
But is the good news they're going to fix it?
Oh, yeah, Chris is he looked at me and he said, it is not going to ship like that, period. So, I mean...
Good.
So,
when it comes to the office, let me have a go with it.
Yeah,
let me check it out, because I want to check it out again, because it has... I'll always play a decent FPS, even for a couple hours just to goof around. I will always get my hands on one to mess around with it.
But the other thing to think about there, I mean, with games like Prey, and maybe this is going to go away now, is Prey was not developed in a multi-platform from the get-go. It was developed as a PC game, and then as the 360 came along, they said, oh, well, shit, let's put it on 360.
I mean, that's what I think about, because with these lead SKUs, with multi-platform next-gen games, there usually is a lead SKU, and that version might end up being the best if it's 360, if it's PS3, if it's PC.
Right. Although I'll give you this, on the other example that I have of that is Vivendi, who's spending a lot of time putting fear onto the 360. Yeah.
People are mixed on that. I heard 360 fear. Some people are a vague thumbs down on it. I didn't actually get to see it, though.
So I got to play it before the show.
But it's a sequel, right?
No, it's the same game.
Oh, what's the sequel? Is that PC only?
Yeah, the expansion pack. The expansion pack was cool.
I thought I heard the 360 game was a new game and the PC expansion pack was a new game.
No, the 360. Okay, so the 360 game is the exact same story, but they're going to embellish it some. They're going to add in. What am I supposed to be able to say here? I forget what they freaking.
Yeah, we're probably breaking but it's E3. It's not a barcode usually.
What? Skip's getting all upset. No, so they're going to keep within the spirit of the storyline and add. Anyway, they're going to add to the thing some, right? They're not just going to leave it.
So there's a reason to play it even if you play.
Right, there's a reason to play it, but beyond that, one of the things they did is they added this just jump in Zerg fest. You were talking about Zergs, Luke. Hi, Luke Zergs? Over there. Yeah, hey.
I'm sorry, I was fucking conversing with the producer to give us some ideas for the second segment, because after this one loses steam and we get a new guest, we're gonna have to Control-Alt-Delete and go again. So I was thinking ahead.
We'll have another round. We'll have another round of
While you guys were talking about shit that I didn't care about, I was focused on some other shit. I was trying to help the future.
You like the shooters? You know what? You're going to like Fear, because one of the things that Fear has is that in single player they took the levels and like took the storyline part out of it, but just made it to where you can go through a progression of environments and just shoot the hell out of all the enemies in it. And the AI is so good in it. That's the best part of the game.
Isn't Fear a little bit like survival horror-y?
No, not at all. At
some point you're shooting and circle strafing, and then the little girl from the ring pops up, and you're like, what?
That's about it. That's about it.
Was awesome. It was the ring
what
game.
you'll like about it is how good the AI is, and it's best AI.
I've heard that
best
from
AI ever.
many people. So
that makes it really fun to play, and they're doing a lot of work to get the controls right on 360. The controls felt better on that than they did on Prey. It has the dead space it needs to. It has a little bit of sticky aim. Works really well.
All right.
So
this is the end of the first segment, right?
We're coming back with Jeremy Parrish.
Jeremy Parrish.
Frog.
Wow.
T-Frog.
Toasty Frog, ladies.
And we're going to have another round to get ready for the next segment.
Yeah, I need another round.
I need
I'm
another
definitely down
too,
with that.
And we'd like to thank Cameron.
Oh, thanks,
coming
guys.
out, Gaz,
Thanks,
all the way from like 17 hours away with his koala bears.
Angry-Net.
We're afraid he might punch us. He's saying Australians are really angry. So
No, man, we're all good.
all right, cool.
I've only had one beer.
Excellent.
And that's not even a real beer. That's American beer, and that's just
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Kind of Foster's. All right.
All right, we'll catch you all in a little bit. You're listening to the One Up Yours podcast on the One Up Radio Network. Next person to join us here at the poolside retreat is none other than Jeff Green.
How you doing, boys?
Legendary.
Always legendary.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I want to start before Jeff starts talking. I was at Blizzard first thing in the morning.
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday, yeah. And I was just talking to some random dude, some nobody. And Jeff walks up and starts talking to this guy. And this guy's like, wait, you're Jeff Green from CGW. And he literally stops and looks at Jeff and gazes longingly into his eyes and goes, I'm honored to be in your presence. And I was like, this is the gayest shit since last week's podcast.
You think that was gay? About an hour later, we were behind closed doors, buddy.
Luke, are you telling me that nobody at E3...
That was gay.
Did nobody recognize you at E3?
No, Jeff, you have to be very careful on this podcast when you go down that road.
A dude recognized me today. A guy was walking by me today and heard my nasal whine, and I saw him turn his head and look at me, and he craned, and then came over and was like, you're on the podcast, aren't you? And I was like, I'm sorry about the voice.
Hey, you know who the real celebrities were at E3 this year? It was the Gaming Life dudes.
Yes,
the Gaming Life guys.
I heard Patrick interview them. I need to see that.
Really?
Patrick Klepek interviewed them, and apparently their dad is like an evil Svengali who runs the show. Like they're just like a front. That's what I heard.
Oh wow, it's like the Jacksons.
Sorry, Dad. Maybe you're not evil. I don't know.
So what'd you see that you liked?
Well, today I saw Assassin's Creed. That looked good. I had my little judges pin on, so I got to play it.
Is the frame rate good now? Because before
it was a little wonky,
but it used to be like 5.
It's like 10.
It used to be 5.
It's like 10.
No, like seriously.
5 frames per second. That's a game. That's gameplay.
And I got to play the Wii.
That is gameplay.
I got to play the Wii.
Do you like Wii?
I liked the Wii. I did.
High five. I like Wii. We're not talking about that again.
I do like the Wii. Wait a minute. Don't corner me now. You know I said I liked the Wii.
You're on Team Luke, all right?
I said I liked the Wii.
Dude, it's okay. Our jerseys are better looking.
You know,
so we're here because we got Jeff here talking about PC stuff.
Yeah, I should talk about PC
Jeff got to see all the awesome PC stuff. And PC is back. We talked about it yesterday. PC is back.
PC did not have a great show. You guys are console guys, but come on.
Show. Yeah,
it was a great show for PC. I was so happy by today. Spore, how great was that demo?
It's incomprehensibly good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I heard Shu was in the bubble today. Just
Shu had to go to the bathroom. Yeah,
really?
It was dangerous.
Furiously.
Wow,
but it's so ambitious. It's insane. Oh, look!
So Jeff,
look what someone brings us. This is awesome.
Oh,
yeah, fantastic!
I got to do One Up podcast more often. We need that beer at the CGW podcast.
Hey, you know what? This is how we do it at the One Up style.
But what about Command & Conquer 3? I'm curious about that.
Well, you know. There's just not much. Yeah, they had a great movie about it.
You didn't think that the gameplay stuff was cool? Because I complained a little bit afterwards. I was like, "What's up, UI? Where are you?"
Well, the UI they hid for the demo.
Yeah, they showed a bunch of stuff blowing
up. Is it some revolutionary UI or something?
No. It's another RTS. I mean, I don't want to diss the game. It's just it was early. There was a lot of smoke and mirrors on that demo. I'm not going to say anything bad.
What about that Might and Magic Messiah game? How about that thing?
That looked awesome. It looks
like Oblivion, but better, right?
It's like Oblivion, but better.
Awesome.
I got to play that today too.
Awesome.
And the spell casting, it's like like in Half-Life 2, that you got the physics engine, but it was mostly to me that was mostly like
someone told me it was a shooter, but it's not a shooter, right?
It
is a shooter.
Well, you got your spells, which are kind of like
Oblivion
guns.
isn't really a shooter. Yeah, because the spells are kind of like guns.
Right. You got your bow and arrows.
Weird. I haven't played it.
I don't know. What's it called? Dark Messiah, Might and Magic. I think that was one of the better looking games of the show. Yeah.
So you talked about Command & Conquer. You better get into the other other strategy games.
Supreme Commander.
Oh my gosh,
that looked really great.
I really love that game.
I do love that game.
You have a total hard on for that game.
You know why? Because Chris Taylor, man, that dude knows what he is doing.
He's hilarious too.
He's very funny.
Much like Luke, he plays blue too all the time.
Dude, he plays blue like 10 times.
I've seen him at like big award shows.
What's playing blue?
Oh come on!
No,
You're serious?
I'm 100. Like I'm from.
It's if you're really vulgar. Like Carlin plays blue. Like Pryor plays blue.
Did you do the Dungeon Siege tour when they brought it for the review code to drop off? Dude, he's like in the it's one of those suite things, and he's in the suite, and Edelman had given up trying to rein him in by the time I got
you can't rein him in.
There's no reining.
If you rein him in, then you're not getting what's cool about it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You just got to let him go.
I don't really know him.
So you watched? Did you get more than just watching the trailer of Supreme Commander?
Yeah. He did a full-on demo for us.
Okay, so tell me about it, because I didn't get a chance to see that.
What was really awesome was I don't know if they showed this in the trailer, but like the size of the units. Did you see some of these things? Like if you have
There's
a battleship,
a real sense of scale, actually.
The battleship looks like bigger than, like he was saying, here's what my game's not going to do. You're never going to be able to take your pikemen and destroy a battleship with like 2 pikemen on the shore, Like a big giant battleship should be able to beat foot soldiers.
Yeah. You know what else I thought was cool? It's the engine. You can like zoom out to like really, really quickly, like all over the world, and all the way happening. It's really impressive.
You could zoom all the way into an individual unit and then all the way back out to like the mini.
It's kind of like Spore too.
Kind of like Spore.
It's really impressive.
Everything just is in Spore Shadow.
And in that same THQ booth, Company of Heroes.
Company of Heroes look great. That looked great. That's from Relic, who made Homeworld, and what else? They did the Dawn of War games, right?
Yeah. Dawn of War games.
This is their new RTS, and it's a World War II RTS, which made me kind of like glaze over because like again, let's pick another war, well, Spanish American, whatever, anything.
Look at console first-person shooters. We have like 6. We have 6 World War II series now.
But you know what? Hitler doesn't get old. Hitler's sexy.
He's the best. No, well, Nazi Germany's the best villain ever. Movies,
watch out.
Right?
They're the best. Sorry, Shane.
You gotta love Hitler.
What? Sorry, Herr Bettenhausen.
Just don't offend our German listeners, all right?
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Dude, you're from Kentucky.
Hitler
you are
was
very far from the fatherland.
Wait till Jeff goes to the JCC next week. He'll be like,
we've talked about all these new PC games. What about the most important PC game, World of Warcraft?
Oh, jeez.
Aren't you guys over that?
Not even close.
I joked.
That's a Blizzard chill. Just say you want to work there, Luke.
I joked the other day.
They tried to hire me.
I'm walking by there and I see the logo for the patch. I'm like, the patch has a logo? That's kind of weird. And I'm like, they could literally charge like $65 for that patch and you'd buy it.
Yeah.
That patch
you get like a pyramid you can look at over the wall or something.
The patch is going to be awesome.
It did look great.
I mean, the patch looked great. The new zones look great. The new armor sets are finished, and the items themselves, the way they were designed, they've been designed extremely well.
Right. But you really have to wonder. I mean, don't you feel? I feel a little guilty. WoW makes me feel guilty.
Luke, can I interest you in a methadone program? Seriously.
WoW is bad for every other MMO.
Problem.
Well, why even try to make an MMO? There's 6 million people playing WoW.
That's the best segue ever, because you said that you were impressed with Vanguard.
Yeah. I said that.
I think I
changed your mind.
Did you change your mind?
Saw it again.
I think I was on the crack.
Really? You're high.
I was high. Yeah. No, it looks good. You know what I liked? It wasn't the game. It was their chutzpah in making that game. Like, they don't care. They're making a totally hardcore MMO. And, like, they were showing me stuff like they're doing, like, EQ1 stuff. Like, if you die, you got to go do the corpse run.
Wow.
And they don't have an alternative. I was like, yeah, but I could just, like, click the thing where it's like, I don't care and I'll take a hit on my XP. And they're like, no.
That's almost refreshing. It's like refreshingly archaic.
It is refreshingly archaic.
There is nothing refreshing.
Maybe that could be the logo on the box.
Like New Super Mario Brothers is also refreshing.
There is nothing.
That would make a good logo on the box. Or they can have a box quote from me.
Okay, I got a hilarious story.
Why don't you guys just fucking kiss?
This story can't
What the hell is refreshing about a corpse run?
I think it's awesome because easy mode needs to end. Like WoW, like Milky and I were talking about it, and Milky is a huge Final Fantasy XI gamer, which is a pretty hardcore MMO at high levels. And Milky was like, World of Warcraft is great as my first MMO, and that's what World of Warcraft is.
That's not true. That game can get complex.
No, well, I know it can get complex, but like for the majority of people playing it, it's this very simple experience.
Right.
Luke, have you seen the end game of Chutes and Ladders? It is freaking hardcore.
I love Chutes and Ladders.
I know, dude.
I love that term, end game.
You played
It's my favorite term.
But no, there was some cool stuff in Vanguard. You know what I liked in Vanguard was the flying mounts. Because in the World of Warcraft expansion, it's just in this one zone that they built for it. So it's like a little amusement park ride. But in Vanguard, you could have a flying mount and go anywhere in the world. And not only that, you can attack from it.
Is Vanguard Korean?
Say what?
Is it Korean?
No, it's Brad McQuaid.
It's San Diegan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
San Diegan.
It's Brad from EverQuest.
That's kind of like Korean.
Hey, Jeff, did you look at any of the other MMOs? Because there are a ton of MMOs here.
No, what? Oh, my ride is leaving.
Your ride's leaving.
Wow.
You gotta
All
go.
right.
My ride's leaving.
Let's hot
Hit me up
swap.
for anything.
Hot swap. Who could jump in?
All right, we have a hot spot.
Okay, I'm saying it one last time, then I'm taking this
Anna,
mic
can
off.
you be on?
Spore was the game of the show.
Oh, who do we got?
Nice call.
Oh, we got T-Frog. T-Frog's
All right.
back. All right.
My ride's leaving. Happy
Thanks
E3,
for
everybody.
coming, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yay, big chair.
Brain, we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you back in the headquarters.
Okay,
Back at HQ.
Is T-Frog going to talk about DS stuff, or what's he talking about?
Dude, he's going to talk about the Square stuff, of course.
Oh,
talk about everything.
I can talk about Square stuff. I interviewed Nomura yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, he was 25 minutes late to my interview.
Yeah.
And then he wouldn't answer any questions. But then I interviewed him again, and then he did talk, and it was awesome. So he's an artiste, dude. He's like a lot going on.
A new challenger appears.
Did you already make this joke?
What?
Insert
You
coin.
already made that joke.
I know. Well, I didn't make it on tape.
Oh, are we on tape right now?
We're live.
We're live,
Tape?
dude.
So to speak.
Digital tape in the Apple, whatever.
We're also on the video
Right.
tape.
Right, yes,
We got Rob here taping. It's awesome.
It is awesome. So,
Yo.
handhelds. You love them.
I love them.
We love them.
But you know, I actually went against my my claim of religious hatred of new consoles, and I actually did play the Wii, or play Wii this morning.
What'd you play?
I started out with Super Monkey Ball, which was probably a mistake because it was...
Mini games are better than the real game.
Yeah, I played the real game, and like the levels are fine, but then the boss battle is just stupidity
really hard.
incarnate.
It gets
Yeah,
so hard. But
it's dumb because...
Did you play Sonic on Wii?
I didn't. I only had like 15 minutes before the mob arrived.
It's really good.
But I did play Mario, and unlike everyone else, I really like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I don't get where all the hatred comes
Did you
from.
play Wii Sports?
No.
I think Wii Sports is awesome.
The only other thing I played was Zelda, which
the demo is bad, but the game.
yeah,
the
well,
game is good, but the demo is bad.
it's kind of understandable why it's bad because the game was built for GameCube,
Exactly.
obviously,
And-
so they've just kind of retrofitted this Wii functionality into
Right,
it.
and also when
I think if they make a Zelda game for Wii, it'll be fine. I mean, you look at Phantom Hourglass,
Right.
which was made for DS, and even though it's only the stylus, it works really well because that's how they designed it.
Right. Well, my other suggestion is, in the real game, you'll learn how to do things very slowly. In this demo, you learn like sword, bow, arrow in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's all kind of thrust
by
on
the
you.
end of the demo, I was good at regular sword fighting, but I never really got the hang of bow and boomerang.
We know you're good at sword fighting, Shane.
Oh Jesus!
Was that an innuendo? Because that was really bad.
It was. I thought it was actually pretty good.
You're kind of off.
Does it qualify if an innuendo if it's that weak?
overall, you pro Wii to get you the good showing.
Yeah,
Impressive?
I wasn't really that interested in it before I actually tried it, but now that I've played it, I kind of see where it's going, and I enjoy it. I like the feel of the controls. I was watching a lot of people who were playing like WarioWare, and
WarioWare is awesome.
They didn't get it. Like,
really?
They were people just standing there, and they'd hold the remote so that it was pointing up, so the game would start, and they'd be like, what do I do? And the representatives would have to grab their hands and hold it down so that they would actually see.
The models they hired did a really good job. They told me exactly what to do. I'm like, you're like a hot chick, and you know exactly what I'm supposed to do. You're good.
It's like beyond booth babes. It's booth
So
geniuses.
did anyone else just catch that Shane just implied that most hot girls don't know what they're doing?
No.
I wasn't gonna let that sit there.
Luke, E3's passed. I remember I walked up to Banjo Kazooie. This is like E3 1997, and I asked the girl like,
when I was 16.
Yeah,
Great.
Sorry. And I asked like, well, how do you move the camera? And she's like,
I was 30.
I don't know. And like, she literally can't get anyone.
Did anyone else hear Garnett just admit that he was 30 in 1997?
Garnett is 67 years old. You may not know that, Luke. He may be your real father.
Well, you just got carded, didn't you?
God damn it, you better not be gay.
I love my dead gay son.
I was thinking someone to fill in for me.
No.
I'm out.
Okay, back on point. You know what had a better...
Oh, right, video games,
You know what had a really great show? DS. DS, amazing. There's so much weird shit there for DS. There's like stuff in Atlas's booth that you wouldn't even believe.
DS is like...
coming out. Like Cooking Mama is coming out in America.
Yeah, DS is like 25% completely insane creative stuff,
totally lost
and about 25% really good quality games, and then 50% crap you don't care about.
Nintendo has like 27 games or something.
Yeah, well, that was
Seriously.
Wii.
No, Nintendo...
But yeah, there's
like
a ton of first-party stuff. Like, and some of it's just crazy ass stuff that you never expected to come to the U.S. Like Elite Beat Agents. Oh well, Tenchu's the special child.
Yeah.
We treat it nicely.
I played it. Did you play the second song in Elite Beat Agents? It's a lot harder, but it's really cool.
I didn't know there was a second song until it was too late.
They have a new song. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, so wait a minute. Can we read anything into them actually bringing Beat Agents to America? I mean, are they actually going to loosen up and give us games like that now?
Yep.
Really? What? Why so?
Well, because the DS is working. Like, having weird games, people apparently dig it. I mean, the DS is holding its own against the PSP here with a catalog of really strange stuff.
Okay, so what other weird games have you played from import that you think that you wouldn't have thought might come here, but now you think, oh, well, maybe they'll come here?
Well, there's Cooking Mama, which I openly predicted a while back would not be coming to the U.S.
Yeah, and here it comes.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Contact is coming over from Atlas. It's kind of this weird Earthbound-y RPG where
it's Wi-Fi though, right?
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi thing isn't like really gameplay. It's it's kind of like Animal Crossing's Island, where you just go someplace.
Is that game by the Killer 7 guys?
Well, it's by Grasshopper manufacturer, but it's not Suda 51.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, it's still kind of strange, and I don't know, like the battle system's kind of weird. It's not what you expect. It's more kind of a Final Fantasy 12 thing where you like walk up to an enemy and your character just automatically attacks. You don't actually choose your commands for the most part unless you're doing a special action.
You got a good long look at Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah, I've had many long looks.
No, I mean you got to look at the localized North American version, right?
Yeah. The localization's really good. The demo that they had was kind of stupid because the demo had 4 sections. 3 of them were just like open battle areas with no point. So people were just running around killing stuff and there was no explanation for what they were doing. That was kind of bad. I mean, they had some booth attendants who sort of helped them out, but there was no, it wasn't put together as a demo, you know? It was just like they took chunks of the game and stuck it in there.
There was a dungeon, but it looked like the dungeon from the demo they gave out.
There was the dungeon, and it was different than the demo, but it was similar in colors and everything. It kind of had that dingy brown look to it. But the dungeon was actually really awesome. I don't know if you played it, but
I did. It was really good.
5 minutes into it, you fight the demon wall from Final Fantasy IV, which has all these creepy animated insect legs.
It looked really good.
Yeah, it was coming at you, trying to crush you.
And it looked really good on the TV, the monitors they had.
I didn't really think so. It's not really
good. No?
I don't think those monitors did it justice, honestly. It looks a lot better on a normal TV.
Were you in the Square booth or the Sony booth?
I was in the Sony booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, did you notice that what was it? The demo...
It's going well.
It's like...
You played Dirge of Cerberus.
What I was going to say was...
Garnet and I are going to go talk about Microsoft.
No, I avoided Dirge of Cerberus.
It's better. It's still not good, but it's better.
Wait a minute. How the hell is it better?
They changed it.
They changed it.
See, the thing about better is it's a relative term, and if you start at the absolute bottom, it's really not hard to get better.
Yeah, it's really common.
No, it's better, dude. It's really not good, but it's better.
It's really common that Square games get much better when they come to North America. That happens all the time.
Well, they're doing a good job with Final Fantasy XII, at least. The translator on it apparently is the guy who did Vagrant Story and Final Fantasy X. So the English localization is really good. It's got that kind of Shakespearean formality, but it doesn't feel stilted or unnatural or too florid. It's not like, I seek thee now, the blah, blah, blah. None of that crap. I'm into that.
Did you like Dragon Quest VIII's translation?
I played a little bit of Dragon Quest VIII, and I did like it. It was pretty nice. It was kind of loose and not too formal, but very British.
Very British.
And I talked to the guy who translated it this week. He was the interviewer, or the translator for the interview on Rocket Slime.
Oh, Richard. He's cool.
Yeah, Richard Honeywood. He's awesome. And basically, I talked to...
Do you like Rocket Slime? I like it.
Oh, Rocket Slime's great. Yeah. I played the import pretty much all the way through.
It's really cool. I'm happy it's coming out here. It's not the kind of game that usually comes out.
Yeah,
but
again, that's another one of those
DS
games.
Has weird stuff, like Rocket Slime.
You're a slime, and you drive a tank. Yeah. And I can't think of anything that's more awesome, except Lunar Nights, where you shoot vampires in space. That's like the best video game ever.
How do you feel about the fact that they're not even mentioning Boktai, even though in Japan this is still Boktai?
Yeah,
they're rebranding it.
Well, it's a good viable brand in Japan, but no one bought Boktai here.
Right. Even though
people
really
are like, "Oh my God, I have to go outside to play it," so they're rebranding it. Yeah.
Do you like Boktai?
No,
you never played it. You never played Boktai, even though you love Metal Gear. It is Metal Gear with vampires on Game Boy,
and you have to play it outside.
It's good though.
It is good.
Like,
continue.
This is like detention hall in high school. There's like notes passing around the table. It's like, oh look, here's someone's gonna open up like one of those Foursquare things and go 1, 2, 3.
Like 4. In the Fable trailer, which was fucking awesome.
Nice segue.
The thing I wanted to talk about the Fable 2 trailer, because I did want to talk about it, was one thing that was like subtly put in there was the hero was speculated that you could be a woman, which was a huge criticism of the first game. At the end of the trailer, she like draws an arrow out of something she just killed and is like recommended as the hero. Now, does that imply that because if you're just playing that dude that you just played sister, like that's retarded.
Why? She was cool.
That is helmeted and in a wheelchair. That is straight up dumb.
I don't really think that's... Luke, that doesn't seem that controversial to me, but I just was handed a news brief, and I'm going to read it on air.
I like that you said it was
wait a minute. Keep in mind, the source of this news brief might be IGN.com.
It could be.
Potentially, I don't know. When I'm handed breaking news, I read it. Okay, here we go.
Breaking news from IGN.com.
This is a Muppet News Flash.
Microsoft is serving money for dinner tonight. Quote, delicious, unquote, says Luke Smith of one of
Garnet just spit. Garnet just spit booze everywhere.
Sporting this season's hottest.
Give me a towel.
Luke Smith of one.com.
That's what didn't come out my nose.
I haven't finished reading the release. Delicious, says Luke Smith of one.com, sporting the season's hottest pink money hat.
I think
that money hat was from the brothers, the doctors at BioWare for Mass Effect.
I think it's at this point I think it's no secret that I think that at least Microsoft is making a play to be competitive in North America.
They're bringing it.
But what makes it really great is that Sony's just kind of rolling over and letting them walk on top.
But then Sony is probably still going to...
Sony, I said rocky start. Microsoft, they brought it halfway.
It's going to be sad though because Sony probably just by the numbers alone will probably still pull ahead.
But competition is good. I need Microsoft to stay in the game to keep Sony honest. All right?
And Microsoft's doing everything they can to make the 360 competitive. Like, I don't have one. I've said it 5 million times on the show. I don't have one, but after their media briefing, after seeing what they rolled out, after seeing the way they handled things, after listening to Peter Moore talk, after being briefed on Live Anywhere, like, I'm ready to get one. I'll get one. I'm going to grab one.
I would like nothing more.
I'll buy one as soon as I get a decent TV.
Yeah, I would like nothing more than for everybody in America to buy a PS3, an Xbox 360, and a Wii. That's seriously.
No, that's what I want. That's what I want too, because that's our reality.
It is. That's the way I live.
That's how I'm going to live.
That's how you roll it.
Maybe you could talk to the president and see if he could give us another of those tax returns.
And with all the money he's getting from Sony,
console tax return.
Like, I don't believe in console, advocacy. Whatever. Just play all the games. There's good games on every console.
That's the thing. There will always be like
except GameCube apparently. Nothing GameCube.
Yeah, Nintendo says GameCube and GBA don't exist. Wait. Was Mother 3 announced?
No, it wasn't.
What happened?
I don't know.
Can you promise us that it would be announced?
I don't know. I should have shaken him down for info, but I didn't have time.
That's upsetting. I wanted 1 and 2 and 3 to be announced. Can you make something happen?
That's a little much.
Can you make something happen?
I'll see what I can do for you.
In one package, one cartridge. That'd be awesome.
Okay, so 2 things real quick. Number 1, the doctors don't even need to send me money because I'm already hooked on Mass Effect, man.
So gay
I don't even need money. I mean, that's cool.
Luke's gay for it.
I know.
Are you gay for it?
On many
Dude,
things.
I can create
Are you gay
character.
For it?
I'm going to make him pretty.
Yeah, sure.
Would you make out with Garnet right now to play Mass Effect?
He's going to be pretty.
Would I make with myself?
No, Garnet. No, I mean Luke.
That guy right over there, he's Luke.
Oh,
a.k.a. Cooter.
The booze
a.k.a. Cooter now after his...
Hey, don't make fun of the South, dude, all right?
All right? But number 2, we were talking about Japanese
Mario-like, actually.
Okay, hey, did you talk to Brian after we did the Blue Dragon meeting?
You came back from that meeting with a totally different opinion before when you left.
I talked to somebody who called it, quote, blue abortion. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And he's sitting over there.
Was it on the air when we were talking about it when Garnet was like, I really like games like that. I'm really into games like that.
God.
He comes back from the Blue Dragon press thing and is like, oh my God. Seriously.
Dude, you don't even have to ask, dude. Just bring them.
Yeah, Dan, you don't have to ask. Just fucking bring the drinks, man. Booze aflow.
Intern, take this.
Let's get Joe from OPM on.
What I was going to say, I heard Blue Dragon was like pre-alpha. Okay, they put you in a town with no people in it, and they're like, no battles, and you ask about the battles, and they're like, we can't tell you anything. What about like the Shadow of the Kid? It turns into a dragon. We can't tell you about that. This game's coming out this year.
Dude,
I don't think
pre-alpha.
So.
Pre-alpha would imply that they were actually like building the game. It's a world environment with some beautiful background music and a character.
It's supposed to come out in November in Japan.
Yeah, shit ain't happening.
I know.
The shit ain't
And I heard
happening.
that like 200 people are working working on it. That like Microsoft realizes like in Japan, this is it. This is gonna like make or break. Either
it's too late for Microsoft.
It could make it. It's gorgeous.
Bail out.
The music. No, wait.
I also heard, rumors are rumors. I hear scuttlebutt. You hear scuttlebutt E3. Ensemble Studios, the people who are supposedly making Halo Forerunners, stop making Halo Forerunners to fix Blue Dragon. I heard that.
That is actually true.
That's true.
So they're not there to fix it.
Are both parts true? Like I'm gonna get another Halo game because that's fucking awesome.
What's up, Master Chief?
Yeah, I am like, what's up, Master Chief?
Take off your arm, Master Chief.
I'm gonna talk about Halo 3 later.
They did not bring Sakaguchi, which first of all was like a total slapdown. That's like, okay, we don't even care about this game.
They didn't bring him to the demo? It's his game.
To
E3.
What? No, he's here. He's here.
I thought I saw him at the press conference.
He's here, dude.
My Gooch detector did not go off at any time.
Dude, they showed him on the big screen, I think, at the press conference.
100% fact.
All right, so they didn't bring him to the demo then because they didn't want to have him answer questions for the fact that it's like just an empty world, right?
There's no game.
And so they had the director of Tokyo Game Studios Asia there, who was very high on how they're working to build up their brand and they're going to do a lot of stuff for the studio, blah 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 blah. And then they brought in the part about Ensemble, and what Ensemble is there to do is help them on the graphics side because it's so much like this.
But the screenshots look good, actually. I will say, like, I like the Toriyama art. The graphics look good. And Artoon, as much as Blinks wasn't an awesome game, I believe they can make a good game.
And that's the bizarre thing of the way this game's coming together. It's Mistwalker like laying out the
Ensemble.
game. It's Artoon like building parts of the engine, and now Ensemble building parts of the engine.
Sharky?
It's the Scott Sharky.
Oh, I guess I have to go away. I was going to defend Artoon. They're putting together Yoshi's Island 2.
No, what? Really?
Yeah, they're the ones designing it.
I love
Have you seen the people screaming and hollering about that?
You
They're
just
so
shattered my reality.
No. Here's the thing.
Yoshi's Island
I was talking to a Nintendo rep today, and I was like, wow, Yoshi's Island 2 is good, but it's Artoon. He said, yeah, I know. Like, when they first came to us, we were kind of like, I don't know. But then they brought us the demo, and they get the game.
I got to give it up for Artoon, because Yoshi's gravitational disaster.
Topsy-turvy.
That was no good.
That was hell.
But yeah, it's shit.
All right,
anyway,
so we're going to let the frog slide out of here, and then... hold on, Scott wants to get a blast.
We're getting another round, too.
Luke, you're the news editor, right? You want some news?
Oh, yeah, this is Scott. You get some awesome news. Check this out.
Are you going to talk about Superman?
No, I'm not going to talk about Superman.
Scott has the killer scoop. Lay it on us, man.
We just ninja'd into NCSoft's presentation. They had a PvP Guild, Koreans, what the hell was it? Last Pride, whatever. They were showing them the new Guild Wars expansion. Not factions, the next one.
And keep in mind, they don't call them expansions. They call them,
Oh, whatever the fuck they are.
Upgrades or something?
Awesome packs.
We just got to look at it. It's got like a North African setting to it. It's got like this whole Moroccan look to it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Got to see some creatures, monkeys riding hippos, whatever. Giant looking
dogs and cats living
together. Mass hysteria. Yeah, no, there's
chaos.
Giant flatworm. And I think we got to see 2 new classes. There was one is this chick, white robes, wielding this wicked-looking double-bladed staff, and there was this bald monk-looking guy. No weapon. I'm speculating is like a PvP. Unarmed combat class.
Like he's your hardcore hand-to-hand.
Like
monk
in Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah,
he's going Shaolin style.
So you just check that out.
Yeah, just not even an hour ago, like right before the doors slammed.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is totally awesome.
And this is NCSoft, so it's like it's totally cool to talk about it. We haven't announced it yet. We're waiting for the factions heat to wear off. But
so later this year, another Guild Wars. Just
another one. And the thing is, they do this shit like machine gun style. They have two dev teams, and they trade off. They tag team it. What? So this next expansion, it was the original crew. They were working on this while the other guys were working on factions. The guys who were working on factions are already working on a 4th.
So you know what that is? You know what that is, kids? That's a scoop. And after the break, we'll have another one.
And Korea owns E3. And we're taking a break, and we'll be back with more Scott Sharky.
All right.
You're listening to One Up Yours, podcasting every day from E3.
This podcast needs more cowbell. But we don't have cowbell, but we do have our editor-in-chief, Sam Kennedy.
I would be
better than more cowbell.
I would not be your friend if I didn't tell you that was some cheesy shit.
Sam, did you get no more cheesy than page 37 from the J. Crew catalog?
That's right. I think it's from Abercrombie. No.
Sam's been...
Let's do a tag check. Come on, let's pull
No, it's Kenneth Cole all the way.
Okay. Oh, Kenneth Cole reaction. Very nice.
I'm gonna drink my mojito now too.
Nice. Hey, do you have one coming?
Yes.
Good. We'll do a test.
So
anyway, we're gonna talk about PSP.
Dude, I think Luke's in love.
So we talked about DS and how awesome DS. They had an awesome
He's even biting his fingers off.
It's the embarrassed bite of the fingers.
I'm always joking with my friends about how every time I turn my PSP, it's dead because I haven't played it in a month, and B, I have to change the color's different because the month has changed. But now there's finally some PSP games coming in 2007, like Crisis Core and Metal Gear, and all sorts of good stuff. Like David Jaffe's game, it's not here, but it's coming. I think PSP is finally going to actually be competitive.
3 games. Yeah, that's great.
No, there's more.
Awesome.
Sam, you love Loco Roco. Come on.
I do.
Awesome.
That's the one game I love on the PSP.
Luminous, you don't like?
It comes out.
Oh no, well it had its months. I
Luminous
played that
2,
out.
Luminous 2, did you play it? It's good.
Oh, I didn't play it.
It's good.
I didn't get to play it. I just assumed it was good.
But
how do you screw it up?
But Loco Roco comes out in Europe next month. You can import it. There's no copy protection.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's
region locking.
Yeah, region locking.
So you said earlier in the show that you thought that next year, 2007,
dude,
the year of the PSP.
No, I said it's going to be like more competitive next year, not the year of the PSP. I think DS is here to stay.
Yeah.
So why next year?
Well, because that's when like Metal Gear and Final Fantasy come out.
Like Garnet, the host of the show, is playing.
There's a lot of good UMDs I'm waiting to buy.
Garnet's playing
some music and movies.
Garnet's sitting across from us right now. Instead of fucking participating in his show, he's playing every extended extra.
Which I don't understand. I sat down in like a fake little bus seat today next to some other dude.
No.
How come like half the
neither of us understood it?
How come like half the PSP games were only downloadable?
It's
we sat there yesterday. We sat there yesterday and didn't understand
extra. It looks like an Atari 2600 game. I don't understand it.
That looks like an Atari. What the fucking 2600 were you playing?
That looks.
I want that one.
Well, we started to play it yesterday. Shivam brought his demo in, and I was playing.
Former one-up intern extraordinary.
Yeah, because I was going to write about it, and that didn't happen anyway. But we started to play it, and I literally threw the PSP down and was like, "This game is bullshit."
He was pissed.
I was so mad because I've been so hyped for this game because I was like, "Dude, every extended extra."
What do you do?
Exactly. You start playing it. That's exactly right. Like, what the fuck do you do?
I'm thinking it's supposed to be like Tempest or something.
But I will say,
you hold the X button and it starts to detonate this thing. If you hit the L trigger, you leave the bomb behind you, and you're basically trying to blow up like squares.
You
have
to teach me later because even though I didn't like it, I think Mizuguchi, he's a cool dude. This must be a good game.
No, once Garnet started to figure out some shit, and I figured out some shit after he did, it's awesome. It is awesome.
Oh, look, here comes Patrick with the next round. Here's your mojito sound.
Yeah, there we go.
Patrick, excellent.
I'm sure he can pose for the
big boss man.
Can you stop with the crotch, whatever?
Did you get to check out? God Christ!
Which game?
Did you get to check out the Metal Gear PSP?
Do you think he drinks the mojitos because that was what was in the catalog ad?
Mark and Brian got to play it, and apparently it's a lot like MGO right now, as in like the subsistence extra online mode.
Right.
But
that's a little concerning.
You couldn't do the tactic stuff; it wasn't implemented yet. So the gameplay is changing a lot. So it's really early. It comes out next year. So
like late next year.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be released side by side with MGS4?
I think a little bit before MGS4.
Hey, look, Luke, you never wrapped up the every extended extra, so you got the hang of it now. What is it?
Okay, well, Triple E.
Let's talk about fun stuff,
dude. That's the boss. I'm sorry, kids.
So you guys talked about all the good stuff already.
Let's get your opinion. Do you like Wii or do you not like Wii?
I do like Wii. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you like tennis?
Well, you just made Luke's day.
Wait a minute. Do you like Wii Sports?
Fucking see the frown?
Wii Sports is awesome. Yeah.
Wii Sports is so cool.
I like all the games that are like really unique to Wii and stuff, but like all the games that like Mario and Zelda and where they're like trying to actually force you to use the Wii controller.
That's what I said last segment. The simple games or what's awesome on
Right.
I think that's going to end up being the consensus. Like I said yesterday, I was watching Jane play Galaxy, and Super Mario Galaxy is a 6-month window launch title, according to Miyamoto. He said we're not going to make launch in all likelihood. At that exclusive shit that I wasn't invited to, and believe me, I bitched about that today for hours.
Because there were tons of fanboys there. There were fan sites there.
Yeah, it was Jeremy Parrish, who was on earlier, was there, but it was like I would have loved to have had that information right away, and we got the information, we got it up, but at the same time, I want to see Wii games designed for the Wii rather than us being forced to adapt. Watching people try and play games that are console games and are standard Wavebird, which is a fucking awesome controller game. Seeing them adapt is awful.
No, but it's like a lot of the older the original DS games. That when the DS first came out, there was all these franchises, and they tried to force you to use the stylus or whatever, dual screen, whatever, and it was just it didn't really work. But then later came the games that you felt like, oh, this is what the system was really designed designed for.
And I think that's when we'll see the Wii become an evergreen console. Where once people get the hang of it, like Trauma Center 2, are you kidding? Could there be a more perfect game for it?
Yeah, I was talking to those guys today.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. Did you just say Trauma Center 2?
Dude, Trauma Center 2 for Wii would be awesome.
Whatever.
Did you not like Trauma Center?
No, you know what? Dude, it's hard. Hey, you know, wait.
Dan Dormer is making more flamboyant.
You know what'll be awesome?
That's the end of your freelance contract right there.
Yeah, like, dude.
What'll be awesome is that if we launch, if Wii Sports sells a lot, which I think it will because it's so fun, and people realize like the simple games are what people want, maybe people realize we don't need to try to make Splinter Cell work on Wii. We can like make weird, cool, unique new games like Brain Training kind of things for Wii.
Okay, so Sam, here's the question we were talking about earlier. Worth a whole new console or a peripheral for the GameCube?
Oh, we'll have to see. I mean, I thought it could have been a peripheral.
Like, I called Perrin Kaplan out for shit like that. I'm calling you out too.
No. What did
I think
you say?
The online stuff. I think the online stuff, you're not realizing how big it's going to be. Like the network stuff, the always connected stuff.
That is pretty cool.
Nintendo's smart. Like, I had this idea about like if every console had like a Nintendog and like a household, and people could come and like meet your Nintendog, see what games you have, leave you messages, like make Animal Crossing kind of built in. Like if they're smart, they could take real advantage of like Nintendo's unique perspective on.
I was just kind of pissed off because like it's a new console and you kind of expect some level of new graphics or something.
Well, I don't know.
So it's more like an add-on.
Well, no, I don't want to. I'm not
the whole HD thing pisses me off too because they're like saying, "Oh, in 5 years, HD." What word?
I'm just laughing. I'm laughing because Garnett's trying to paint you in a corner, and it's actually like one time where I'm going to disagree with him because like I said to Perrin Kaplan today, we had a long talk, and I said, "Listen,
hold on, you should tell everyone who Perrin Kaplan is."
Perrin Kaplan is what is she exactly like?
She's very VP marketing.
Yeah, she's
for Nintendo.
She's a wonderful lady. She's
awesome.
She's hilarious.
She's awesome.
She's a great interview.
Yeah,
and she was today too, and that'll be on GameVideos.com early next week.
Where she calls you an asshole on GameVideos.com.
That we actually killed the camera before that. I'm sorry, but we were talking today, and I said to her, I said, "Listen, this was all off camera." I said, I sort of wonder about the Wii because, like, while I know Nintendo's not about that next generation visual leap, like their leap is in control and in the control scheme. But I said, isn't that a bit like a peripheral, which we just talked about?
Yeah.
And she went on a long sort of tirade about how it wasn't and how Nintendo, like, sort of reinforcing the company line on Nintendo being a new generation console, which we had, Matt Atwood confirm earlier this week or last week. And it's frustrating to sit and watch the Wii because, like, while the tennis game, Skip and I played it, and
it's fun, dude.
I would play the shit out of it. Like, I guarantee you there will be some shit on game videos.
Right now,
where,
if we could go play it, we'd play it.
Yeah, where me and Shane will just be facing off. It's great. It's awesome.
Well, that console better be really, really cheap.
I think $199, $249. I think, and if it comes out,
otherwise
PS3,
I'm going to be pissed off because that's a GameCube with a
it's a GameCube Plus.
But if it comes out against PS3 with like all these fun games,
I think it's a GameCube Lite.
People buy it.
I don't know that I'd say Lite because I was talking to a friend of mine.
You're a hater, dude. You're too old. You're out of the demographic. All right.
Wait, so Peter Moore said to buy a 360 and a Wii.
He's a smart man.
Yeah.
I love Peter Moore.
We know.
I think
it's that sexy bicep with the halo tattoo.
You're like,
when he pulled up both sides of his shirt at the Sony conference, Sam can attest. Sam can attest that I did do that. I went, I gasped a little bit.
Is that for the GAF readers at home?
That's for GAF. You guys fucking decide what that means.
I think they've already figured it out a long time ago.
He's an enigma.
I don't know that it was a secret.
All right, Sam,
so what else did you like at E3, Sam?
I saw Mass Effect right before I left.
Awesome.
That was really awesome.
You got into
Spore.
See it
I had to check out Spore. Spore was great.
So what do you think of Mass Effect?
What do I think of it?
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I love the whole conversation system. I love.
What did we decide to give Game of the Show to?
Spore.
Yeah,
wow.
we wound up giving Spore.
Shout out to Will Wright. That game is amazing.
I just want Casey Hudson, because I know he's listening, because he's a fan. I want you to know, Casey, that I went to bat for your game.
For Mass Effect.
For Mass Effect,
And I got to tell you, dude,
I went to
it was
war
really
for
close.
Mass Effect.
You want to know? You went to bat, Sam. How long did I argue with you on the telephone?
Oh, I know. We
were back and forth. I'm like, no way, motherfucker. We were putting it on Mass Effect.
I'm absolutely sure that it was. That's exactly how it was. And the thing is, like, I didn't get to see Spore, and I wish I had, so that I could have weighed in on Spore too. But Mass Effect is something. Is looking like it's going to be something very special.
Right.
It's looking like something that's going to be very special. Like the type of game that, like, if you're a big PS3 fan and you're a big Sony fan, like, Mass Effect might be the game that gets you to buy a 360. Just like Metal Gear 4 will be the game that gets me to buy a PS3.
I agree that Mass Effect is awesome, but we've been talking about it so much. Is there anything what haven't we talked about? Have we talked about the booth babes at E3 yet, or what haven't we talked about?
The booth babes at E3, I don't really remember a whole lot.
EverQuest 2 had a really awesome booth babe because most of them were covered up, but I think they went there.
People were saying that there were hotter girls walking around the show than the booth babes.
Yeah, apparently hot girls are really into gaming all of a sudden.
Because of DS, dude. They're all playing Nintendo. They're like petting their puppy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm going to leave the pet in their puppy.
The feds are back. Watch out.
Yeah. What's up, Rupert?
Hey, look, you got to do the WebZen tour, right?
I did the WebZen.
This brings me, before we can talk about WebZen, I'm talking about Korea, because you were joking about it earlier, but no, really, I realized, at one point I was in, one of the main halls, I think it was West Hall, and there really are, several large Korean game publishers with huge booths with, fire dancers and shit. It's
WebZen's one of them.
Here.
Yeah, WebZen is one of them.
We think about Japan, America, Europe, the Korea is here. They're here and they're in charge. They have console games, PC games.
WebZen was a mixed bag for me because on one hand I've been talking a lot in the office at least.
Sucks.
Let me get to it. Don't fucking steal the thunder. The thing that I was waiting for most from WebZen wasn't what's up, carpet?
Oh.
The thing that I was waiting for most from WebZen was an announcement from Red 5, who is a group of guys who left Blizzard to make an MMO. Fucking Red 5 had nothing to say.
Wow.
And that
you want more WoW?
No. I want more from the guys who originally engineered it. I want to see, when you're away from Blizzard's sort of developing environment, what you're going to come up with. And I was really excited to see that. Didn't. Went and had a private showing of Huxley. Huxley's single player for the Xbox 360 looks fun.
Oh, really?
Cool. No, it looks fun. It looks cool. When I was listening to the MMO part seemed to be along the same lines of SUN, even though they're drastically different games, both being published by WebZen.
Hey, shock and awe. It's the same game engine for the RPG side.
Yeah, it's just, well, the 360 version is pure FPS. The MMO version has player housing, which is always nice in an MMO, player-driven vehicles, which is cool to get around the city. But it's the only real description of what the game was you go into this arena, you go into this arena and you PvP, and I was like, really?
That's the game? That's it?
I was like, so your game is Xbox Live?
Oh.
And that didn't translate too well to Korean.
So what's the craziest thing you heard at E3?
Overall?
Yeah, crazy, from an interview or whatever.
Today, I was excited about this. Itagaki, I interviewed Itagaki today for Tecmo, and I gave Dead or Alive 4 a 6.0, I think, because I thought it was okay. It's pretty, but
did he remember that?
Well,
did he bring it up?
He always remembers everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I sit down. And I just seen the trailer for DOA X2, and the first thing he says to me is, "So do you hate it?" And I go, "No, actually, I think it looks really cool because it's like jet skiing and water sliding
and boobs,
tug of war. It has good graphics, and it's Xbox Live. I'll play that. 360. Right. Yeah, I played that on 360. And so it was a difficult.
Did you grill him on the only really important question that I would have for Itagaki?
Which is,
where the fuck is Ninja Gaiden 2?
Yeah, we talked about that.
So what's up?
You can maybe read about an EGM.
God.
Or maybe,
so do you want me to tell you what it's about? Because I will. I mean, you can read EGM. You can listen to the podcast. I won't.
Did anybody listen to the podcast?
No, just
a couple of folks.
My mom,
couple of kids, and your mom.
And came in 24.
Your mom's pretty hot, dude. Oh, I left my phone in her place. If you see her tomorrow.
I'm out. I'm done. Get some other one and get someone else in here.
Oh, it's all right, Luke. Come on back. We'll buy you another beer.
What was the funniest thing you saw at E3 or heard?
Me?
Dude, the funniest thing at E3, Matt Leone at the Ziff Davis party.
He was there. He'd been up for 3 days.
I think the funniest thing that was at E3 was that I couldn't get a good Blizzard interview.
You love them, dude. You're level 60.
I love Blizzard. And I was like a game master came up to me when I went to the Blizzard thing, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And I looked at him and I asked him the questions that I was going to ask their raid designer, Jeff Kaplan, and he was like, "I can't help you." And I was like, "I could have told you that before you came up to me." I was like, "There's 2 dudes I want to talk to. One of them's named Shane, and one of them's Jeff."
I'm right here, dude.
The different one. But unless that was happening, it just wasn't. That amused me because he was, just totally in a different part of the game. That was funny to me, but not to anyone else.
No.
So sorry. No.
Patrick jumping in the pool was pretty funny.
I wasn't bad.
He didn't jump. He was pushed by EGM freelancer Robert Ashley, who's like a real violent guy. He's a real asshole.
No, what I loved though is when security came over, he started walking with them, and then he ran and jumped in the pool again.
Wait, no.
Actually, you know what? I want to change this. The funniest thing that happened at E3.
Does Patrick know we're talking about him?
Yeah.
We're talking about Patrick.
The funniest thing that happened at E3 was Monday at Sony's press conference.
Why? Oh.
Because the news editor at 1UP, me, I tried to get into the Sony press conference. Me, baby.
That's a great positive, Luke.
Yeah, and we tried to get
into the news editor at 1UP and call up.
Samus said all along, like, yeah, you're on the list for Sony, and Sony's notorious.
Because you were originally on the list.
Sony shouldn't let you in, dude. You are, you're not a friendly
Sony's
person.
Notoriously
they've been listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I think I'm fair to say they're notoriously difficult to get into.
Yeah.
And I said to Sam before we went there, I said, I don't think I'm going to be on the list. And Sam's like, dude, you'll be fine. So I'm not on the list. And we think that
Sam, you're going to get kicked off for James. The sultry sounds of James
has arrived.
All right, here we go.
Let's do a hot swap.
Hey, turning it over to Jane.
Jane, hot swap.
Oh.
Wait, no, not. I don't think so.
No, we're going
to take a break.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. We got Samus Aran. Yeah, fresh out of Metroid, whatever the hell it is now we're up to.
Metroid corruption. Political corruption.
And we'll have some game videos, kids, and who knows what else we'll have coming up after that, and we'll see you in a minute.
You're listening to One Up Yours, part of the One Up Radio Network.
And this is not the One Up Yours show, because I don't know who the hell these people are who are with me, but they're not the people I'm accustomed to.
No.
Who are you?
My name is Ryan O'Donnell, and I'm a guy. That's
a dude.
I'm just some guy.
We're from the other show.
Yeah, we do that other One Up thing.
The One Up show.
Yeah, that one.
No, wait a minute, that's Jane. Say hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great.
You're Jane.
Wait a minute, I gotta say something. Jane saddled me with this job,
saddles.
Because when I first had.
Now suddenly we're talking saddles.
Yeah,
that's what it's like.
Ladies get on the show and suddenly people are being ridden. I am not wearing spurs or assless chaps.
Dude, I gotta tell you, when I first picked up the podcast and was like trying to help out with it or whatever, I was like, what the hell am I gonna do now? I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this thing.
Can we smoke on this show?
Yeah. We could totally smoke on this show.
Yeah, you have to smoke on all the shows now. I don't know.
So anyway, I just want to let you know that I totally miss you doing it too.
Oh,
people miss
okay.
That.
Thank you.
And then we have Samus.
Hey, what's up?
That's Samus Aran.
Mystery guest.
It's not often that you get, people from Metroid Prime.
No. Or Metroid.
Right, courtesy of Retro Studios, where my very, very good friend Kynan Pearson works. Say, Kynan, what's going on, dude? I know you're listening, so I had to give him a shout out too.
That's nice.
I like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
You don't even know him. Leave me alone. He's like one of my best friends.
Dude, okay. I'm Samus. Let's move along.
All right, Ryan, do your disclaimer because you want to get the word out to the kids.
Yeah, so I wanted to apologize to anyone who's sitting around waiting for the One Up show to go up, right this moment, because we were supposed to put up a show on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, and we managed to get the Wednesday and Thursday ones up. But the Friday show may or may not go up this evening because we were in our booth finishing it up when and rendering out the final versions when the power was removed from our booth. So
basically erased 2 hours of work.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, are you
No, serious.
We're serious.
You guys are going to make it happen, though, right?
Well, yeah,
They're
it'll go up
drinks.
eventually.
Sit
but
down. It'll be all right.
I just don't know if it's going to be right this moment.
Okay, so as a substitute supplication sort of thing, and Jane's having to adjourn herself for a moment, as a substitute sort of thing, what kind of games did we miss out on being on the One Up Your show? Or being on the One Up show?
What games?
Yeah, what have you guys been looking at? What'd you do this week? What did you see that was awesome?
Well, I actually didn't see anything until just today, but I finally took a little bit of time. Jane was nice enough to edit the show for me today so I could go walk on the floor, and the first thing I did was meet up with Luke to go try to see Gears of War. And it was pretty impressive, I have to say.
Gears of War was impressive. I agree.
Wait a minute, Samus, you weren't in Gears of War.
No, not that I know of.
Hey, the PAs are already on it. They're bringing more Coronas already, so we're good to go.
They're bringing more Coronas already.
See, I didn't realize that we had PAs to rub my feet.
We don't have PAs on the one-up show.
We have PAs to rub my feet?
Yeah, we do, apparently. So PAs?
Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick.
I need a football.
Come rub our feet.
Come rub my foot.
Anyways, what were we...
Poor Skip. He's over here. Focus.
Skip the producer is really angry with us right now.
He's really like that a lot. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll take another one. What the hell? I need more.
You know what?
That'll help my focus.
You know what? It's been a long E3, Skip, and maybe focus is what we've had a little too much of.
So, Garnet, you played Gears of War, right?
I played Gears. We did the multiplayer test, yes. Sam and I did it at the same time.
What did you think?
You know what?
The coolest.
When we were doing our arguments over like who was going to be on the list for Game of the Show, I couldn't put Gears up there just off the multiplayer. I didn't know enough about the single player, so...
Oh, whatever. People have put games on that list for
less. That's why you did. What was beating Gears of War for you? For that hot spot? Was it Zelda or was it Madden 07 on the Wii?
I think I'm going to have to agree with Kath Samus on this one because...
Kath Samus?
Yeah, Kath Samus, because...
what was beating it out?
And they showed the single player...
I'm trying very hard not to make a beating joke. It's like, if only Luke were here.
I mean, if only, right?
Focus.
You
know what? It's
focus.
not your time. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, 360 Mass Effect, easy beats it. Easy.
Different genres.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about Game of Show caliber,
really
Mass Effect.
similar,
is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, the Mass Effect presentation.
See, I don't like it when people just like decide to focus on one game or the Game of Show or whatever. There are plenty of good games. There were a lot of good games at this show.
Yeah.
And to just like disregard some game because one game happens to be better based on one person's opinion, I don't know.
That is kind of ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
No,
that's kind of what our whole industry is founded on, though, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we need to go ahead and get behind that because a lot of us be out of a job if we didn't go ahead and have an opinion about one game over another.
I'm not behind it, and I have a job for now.
You know why? We have ovaries.
Maybe not after this, because I think Skip's going to fire me for not having focus.
He's really into that focus thing.
Oh, my God. Round 2, Corona round 2. Somebody's spending a lot of money at the bar.
So this kind of wound up like a E3 beauty pageant to me because there really wasn't so much a winner as there was a bunch of winners. It was like runner-ups and winners. There was no loser here.
Honestly, this was
Sony was the loser.
No, you know what? Dude, there's no.
But you know, after the press conference, and once you got to go around to all the games, and there were good games out there. There were definitely good games.
I even liked the way Warhawk controlled, even though I don't care for that kind of game, but I thought it was pretty good.
I'm gonna say this. This is what was interesting to me is at the press conference they announced the ability to the motion sensitivity to it to the PS3 controller. I'm sure Sony will say it's not in response to Nintendo, but I asked every single developer that I spoke to who's making a PS3 game, and I asked every single one, so the motion sensitivity in the controller, how are you going to apply it to this game?
Hell if I know. Every
single one of them. Wow, would have been great to have known about that shit right there.
No one
because
knew
it would
about
have would have made developing for the PS3 a little more fun for me.
Yeah, so they had to come up with some sort of gimmick, right? Because they've given up on the whole immersion thing.
That's just it. They've created a gimmick, and
see, that's what I think is interesting. That now consoles feel like they have to, because even Microsoft, you could argue, had a gimmick. Their network platform thing. It's like graphics aren't enough anymore. We need something more.
What do you mean a network platform is a gimmick? That's like a legitimate feature.
No, I said one could argue that it is sort of gimmicky.
One would be retarded.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying I'm arguing it.
Okay, good. Because I wouldn't want to argue against Jane.
She's pretty adept
at that.
No,
because I'd beat you down.
I know. I wouldn't want
that. I'd fight dirty.
Wait. We're getting a chick fight?
Only if we get the PAs to rub our feet.
PAs! We need some feet rubbing.
This is a radio show. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're totally fighting in oil right now, and I'm wearing a white T-shirt, and Jane is wearing nothing at all.
Yeah. We disregarded the booth babe prohibition, actually, for the whole show, in fact.
Yeah, I did too.
I felt a little uncomfortable sometimes, but but it worked out okay.
I was a little chilly.
Yeah, it was cold in those rooms.
Goosebumps.
All right, Ryan, so if you're ranking the way everything finished out for you this year, how would you put them?
You don't seem to understand that I don't like ranking things.
Yeah, but you still have to.
I'm
a binary guy.
Ryan, more importantly, who's hotter in a hot oil wrestling match, Jane or Samus?
No
I want you to rank it.
And think carefully before you answer.
No comment.
All right.
All right, so what do you mean you're a binary guy? Does that mean you're saying that it's either win or lose?
There's a reason that I don't review that many games. If one was to go back through my reviews catalog, say Google my name and like game review.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, you'll notice that back when I was on GameSpy, I used to give lots of 5 stars out of 5 stars, and I'm the type of guy who either really loves a game or don't. I just don't like it at all.
Ryan, tell me one game you gave a totally awesome score to, and then later on you went back to and you said, what the hell was I smoking?
Nothing.
No, but Ryan, there are certain games that you can see the appeal of, even if you can't play them yourself. For example, Animal Crossing.
Oh,
you bought it. You didn't really get into it, but you can see how somebody like.
But that's the thing is, I still think it's a totally great game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not for me.
You'd give it a 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't review it.
Okay.
But if you did, what would you give it?
I wouldn't.
Okay, well, that's a dead end.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be a dead end. So anyway, that's I guess the main point of me saying all this is that there are 5 or 6 games at the show that I think are all just like really, 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 really fantastic looking. And
all right, so look, we beat the Wii.
All the marks.
We beat the Wii to death. Let's talk about something else. PS3. How did it come off to you?
Wii.
Well, if anyone watched the One Up show that went up on Wednesday night, you probably heard me rant about Sony for, I don't know, about 8.5 minutes. And I don't know, I kind of feel like they're missing the mark with the PS3. I walked by I finally had a chance to go out to the show floor today, and I walked around their booth, and you know, it all looks, graphically all the games look like Xbox 360 games. They might as well be Xbox 360 games, so they don't have a distinct graphical edge. And none of them, at Sony's booth really had gameplay that I thought was super appealing to me. But then we did get a chance to go into the Ubisoft booth and check out Assassin's Creed, which I think is actually really, really fantastic. It's by the team who made the original Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and it looks like a cross between that and maybe like Thief and Eco or Shadow of the Colossus. It has a lot of elements from all of those games. It's really gorgeous. And aside from that,
plus it has this really rich historical
See,
story.
I don't know anything about the story, so I'd love to hear more about it.
I'll sum up because y'all can go Wikipedia it, but it's Richard the Lionhearted's reclamation
of the throne of England.
Of Jerusalem.
Oh,
when he went back into Jerusalem, try to get it back for the big JC.
Yeah.
From the dirty brown people.
Yeah. Those heathens.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that as the assassin, you're kind of like in the middle. You're on the fence, and it's again giving gamers a choice.
Are you a Christian assassin or you're Moorish assassin?
You're not Moorish. I think Syrian.
Okay, so we're all in agreement that Assassins is really awesome. What other PS3 games did you see that you were like, wow, okay?
I was just getting into the story of Assassin.
That's all right.
Cut it off.
It's not very interesting. It's historical, but it has a real historical base. It has a story base, which I think Jane and there was a really beautiful girl who you were on the One Up show talking about how important story was to games.
I remember that fondly.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Good times.
Good show.
And if it definitely looks like it's going to hit that mark. And then for the people that maybe don't care as much about story,
you know what? It doesn't get in the way.
No.
Yeah.
That's totally true. And I think it looks super interesting. But if you were one of those people, the gameplay looks pretty off the hook as well. They've created these cities in a way so that you can kind of climb up the walls of any building. So you're super agile.
It's incredibly fluid.
Is it third person?
It is third person. And the combat system is based on counter. Panthers, and the animation is just fantastic. So when an enemy comes up and attacks with a sword, you do these really beautiful, intricate, flowing moves where you can disarm weapons and use your hidden shanks and stuff like that to just destroy enemies. It's really, really cool.
What I liked about it was stealth without necessarily being a sneaking game all the time. It's about actually blending in and getting close to your target, and
the crowd interaction is amazing.
The crowd interaction is awesome.
You can walk up to guys and push people, or blend in with people who you've helped in the past. Like in the demo, they show you're wearing this white garb. The character model is just really excellent. There's these monks that walk around the city who have outfits that look similar to yours, and according to the guy who was doing the demo, you have helped them in the past. So if you get into a situation where the crowd turns on you, they see you kill someone, or you're just creating a sort of scene, you can choose to walk up to the monks and blend in, and you kind of do what they're doing, praying or that sort of thing. And
just by hitting a button, like a single button, and then your character just follows along.
So the gameplay looks really cool. I loved the way they started the demo. You started outside the city on a horse. The horse looks awesome. The mechanics look awesome. More games need horses.
It's horrible to control, though.
Really?
Did you control the horse?
No, they didn't let me touch the controller.
Okay. Controlling, but to be fair, and this is what I loved about a lot of the demos, the 2 Human demo too, Dayak was very honest about this is what we need to change. The camera was too far out. The frame rate wasn't where they want it. It was only at 50%. Being fair, I love it when they're honest. I bring to me what you got. It's a work in progress, and if you're honest about it being a work in progress, I'm going to give you all the leeway in the world.
Yeah, I'd
much rather see a work in progress than have them hold it back because they're worried that we're going to say something stupid.
Right, and if you're honest with me about saying, we want to improve these things, we've noticed this too. It's kind of like if you've got a stain on your shirt, if you had a hot dog for lunch and you got some mustard on your shirt, the first thing you're going to say to people when you see them is, I got some mustard stain on my shirt. They're working on it, It's a work in progress, and everybody in the industry leading up to E3 has been working these 20-hour days, has been busting their ass, our side, their side. And if there's ever a time to give them the benefit of the doubt, it's right now.
I agree, especially since our editor Matt Leone went to check the game out a couple months ago, and he said that the build he saw previously was much better than what they were showing here.
From EGM said the same thing.
It's all because they implemented recently a technology which allowed them to stream the levels. They load on the fly rather than having load times.
Like Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, like that. And that system kind of screwed up their frame rate right now, so it's just not optimized, which is why the version on the show floor didn't have the best frame rate.
Okay, so how about some more PS3 stuff? How about Heavenly Sword?
Yeah, I was wondering if anyone had actually played that. I stood in line to play it forever, but it was very crowded.
They generally ignore girls. It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you play it?
Beautiful.
I watched the demo a lot.
I didn't get to.
I didn't touch it, but from what I've heard, it controls very similar to God of War. I like the kind of projectile attacks you can do. It seems like the environments are pretty interactive. The thing that John Davison said on the 1UP show the other day, I think, is pretty correct. Where it's hard to tell right now whether or not it's going to be an adventure game, or if you're just going to be put in a bunch of arenas, one after the other. Because both of the demo that they had here and the first time they showed it were both these tight little arenas, and if that's all it is, it might be kind of boring.
Yeah, it's you don't know whether they're just trying to show off the combat system or if that's actually what the game is.
Right, and I don't think they're being, Sony's not being very open in talking about it, which is typical Sony.
But I mean, for me, when I was looking at it, it looks beautiful. I don't know how it controls because I didn't get to play it either. It looks like it controls great, but I felt a little bit like the backgrounds were a little bit of a backdrop. Looking at it gave me, I love Soul Calibur, but you always get that feeling oh, here we are on a soundstage. And perhaps it was a quality of the demo and the fact that they built this for E3, but I definitely felt like there was your character in the foreground, fighting, working, and then there was the background. And they were two different worlds. And it was definitely flat in the background. background. Whereas like Gears of War or Mass Effect, incredibly rich, incredibly deep. Also,
None of those. Even Heavenly Sword looks great. Looks like it controls great, but it's still not enough for me. None of the games that are being shown at Sony's booth make me want to run out and spend $600 on a new console.
Exactly.
In fact,
I think Assassin's is close. I mean, Heavenly Sword I did play, so I can tell you about the way Heavenly Sword plays. It's very button mashy. Which is kind of like cool when you sit down and play the first time, but then you think to yourself, wow, is this really going to last through a whole game? And I don't know if the depth is there, but then again, like we said, is it just a tech demo? Are they just showing off the fighting system?
Benefit of the doubt,
Definitely benefit of the doubt, because the animation is excellent, the artwork is excellent. You can tell that like Ninja Theory has been working on art for PS3 way before anybody else has, because their art assets look, other than Assassins, there's nobody that has art assets that look like that.
I would rather have Assassins come to Xbox 360 at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
Because Sony is apparently trying to hold it.
$600 is still too much to pay for one game.
Yep.
$600 is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole lot of money.
Yeah. That's
because they're going to make you buy, cables and probably memory cards and that sort of, every time you buy a console, there's these extra costs that you have to incur, and I can't see it being just $600. It's going to be $600 plus 20 plus 30 and then all the games that you want,
Okay, let's say $700.
Yeah.
It's still too much.
It's not worth it, basically.
What I'm saying, for one game that has impressed me.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Since Dreamcast, I think I've bought every console that's come out at launch. This is the first
Ryan, pulling the N-Gage out of his pocket.
That's pretty classy, isn't it? That's
as he says this, he's
got
the N-Gage. Everything.
But, so before we get out of here, let me ask
Mondo?
a question. I want to throw this out there. You said one game that impressed you. One game that impressed you from the show. Samus.
One game that impressed me from the show, I have to say Lost Planet kind of surprised me.
Really? I took a look at that and I was kind of like, about it.
Really? Did you play it? Mm-mm. Okay. The thing is, I played it right after I played Gears of War, and Gears of War was great, amazing, beautiful, derivative.
Yeah.
And it's great to have to run for cover. It's still a third-person shooter, and Lost Planet controlled beautifully. Controlling it was like, and I am a keyboard and mouse whore. I love them. And to pick up an Xbox 360 controller and like how a first-person shooter controls is a big deal. And I loved how Lost Planet controlled.
Jane?
But is that enough for... Okay. All right.
One game.
It also looks beautiful.
A game that impressed you.
One game that impressed me. Well, the only game I saw today, because I was working on the One Up show, was Mass Effect, and it really, we already talked about it, I know, but it's the one that impressed me the most, mostly because I had the lowest expectations for that game, I think, because the last time BioWare, and I say this as a huge fan of BioWare, I love BioWare so much. The last time we saw Mass Effect, it looked like a generic sci-fi, sort of rip-off of every other game that was out there. They released no information about what it was going to be like. There was some, morality, whatever, but we'd already seen that. But then seeing it in action and the conversation system and just listening to them talk about how they were planning
systems.
the squad system, the galaxies, downloadable content so that they can continue to expand the universe. I think that's just going to be fantastic. And something like the Xbox 360 is going to work for that because they've already set up all that system for downloadable content.
You want to take it to the break then, Ryan? What do you want to tell us about it?
Well, I already talked about Assassin's Creed, which I thought was nice, and I agree with Jane. Mass Effect was definitely one of the most impressive games of the show. And
any last piece then?
I would then go to Rainbow Six Vegas. I thought was really interesting.
Oh yeah,
no one has brought that up on this podcast.
I brought up Lost Planet because I did love Mass Effect, but we'd already jizzed all over that shit. So Rainbow Six Vegas looks
the nice thing about it is they have a really good logo. It's awesome. It looks like the Vegas sign, but it's anyway. No, really, it just looks. I loved Rainbow Six 3. I thought it was really incredible. I played the crap out of it on the Xbox. The multiplayer was great. The single player was awesome. And Vegas looks even better. I mean, it's cool. You can jump outside of hotels and like use your rope to like break into and rappel.
Shoot as you're rappelling in, and
breaking through doors.
I like the idea of destroying Las Vegas. You get to do that.
You know what though? You don't. You don't get to destroy anything iconic in Vegas. I bet you do.
You want to blow up the Wynn?
Yes. It offends me.
I want to blow up the Luxor.
All right, so we're going to come back in a minute. I guess we're going to put the final exclamation point on the whole E3 week. That's with
Luke and Shane are convinced they're going to come back and have a much more interesting show right now. They're sitting here in my ear going, "You guys are boring and too serious."
They are. They're pretty stuck on themselves.
Yeah, they're pretty gay.
Maybe they should get a room.
They're pretty homosexual.
Maybe they have a room.
And
they've been making out.
Who do we have? We have Joe Rybicki, right? Joe Rybicki.
They're not gay. They just like to sit around and tongue kiss each other.
All right, and on that note, we'll be back.
But so do we, Kevin.
That's...
All right, so this is what it all comes down to, the final segment live from the poolside. And let me tell you what, we're not even...
I'm so sorry already.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gone for the last segment. I was probably throwing up.
Luke and I are back.
This shit is going to get really ugly.
You can start listening again. Close your windows at work.
Thank you, production assistant. I love you.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're back for the final coda of this very special end of E3.
Yes.
It was a good week. It was, despite all the bullshit and the tyranny.
We also have a new guest.
That's
excellent.
Right. Joe.
Mr. Joe Rybicki, the executive editor of OPM, correct?
Senior editor, actually.
Yeah,
you outrank me. You son of a
whatever
bitch.
But no, he's got his own.
Oh, I hate you.
His own violent, angry take on E3.
Well, you're from OPM, so you're forced to cover the turd that is the PS3.
Oh, hey,
wow.
Luke.
So
easy.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that tasty nugget of nutty corn crunch?
Luke, it's $500 worth of delicious.
$500 worth of not as good as the $600 version. Delicious,
Luke,
no Wi-Fi.
Luke,
is that what you're telling me?
Next E3, we shall have our revenge.
Hey, you know what? You know what I learned?
Wait a minute. You're on fucking EGM.
I was talking for OPM.
We shall have our revenge.
You know, seriously. The thing that you don't know.
Oh, God. Enlighten me.
Here's why.
The console vibrates
because
too.
It wasn't talked about.
Ladies
you
love
tilt
it.
the whole console.
It's for
like
her.
fucking revolutionary.
And then you know what? You have to return it because it's broken. It's like the rest of Sony's first-gen hardware.
All right, no, listen.
Sorry, kids.
Listen, seriously. The thing that you don't know because they didn't talk about it is like the lower end. Like no HDMI, no
Wi-Fi. That's
Wi-Fi.
cool.
All right, but get this. Like the Sony spokespeople have come out and said unequivocally, definitively that the unit will support external hard drives, external flash readers, etc. External Wi-Fi, all that
to be
shit.
connected with Sony accessories.
That's encouraging.
If you look at it, it is encouraging. If you look at it from their perspective, they're thinking, whether it's true or not, they're thinking that the higher end model is actually just a package, and the lower end model includes full functionality. And now, why they left out the HDMI of the lower end model, I have no fucking idea.
Well, someone actually made like it was probably Shane, and I hate to say that
was
Shane.
it a blue state, red state analogy?
And I hate to say that Shane actually made a good point because it's totally antithetical to our relationship. But he said that he pointed out that Xbox 360 doesn't have HDMI, and you know what? People aren't sitting around bitching about that, so it might be a little unfair to level the site to Sony and say
also doesn't have Wi-Fi.
No, the reason why everyone's upset about it is because for all we knew up until 4 days ago, the unit was going to have HDMI, and now what we know is that one of the units will not.
Well, the thing is
and that pisses people off, and it's understandable.
The criticism that I think is fair, if I can, real quick, is that even the retard pack from Microsoft, the $299 pack from the 360, you could upgrade to the equivalent of the premium pack.
That's right.
And Sony users aren't going to have the same luxury. They're just not. There's going to be something that's missing.
Just with HDMI.
But that's still going to be one thing that's missing.
Yes.
And you know what? While it might not be felt this year or next year or the year after, it is going to be felt at some point during the cycle.
Well, I'll tell you what. I just bought a TV. All right, I just bought a new TV for my living room, and I specifically bought one with an HDMI input, so that when I
eventually got a PS3, which now looks like it's probably going to be, maybe further away.
March.
That I would be able to plug that shit right into the TV and have it be like a little happy land where the PS3 and the TV are like frolicking hand in hand through the brush.
But in the meantime, your happy land is what? Xbox 360 and Oblivion?
Wait.
Oblivion.
I'm sorry,
all about Oblivion.
I have to interrupt you guys. I just got a breaking news bulletin handed to me. It says the majority of connection of American homes don't have HDTVs, and the only smart thing they didn't include in the PS3. It says random person who's handing me this. But,
that's true. Even Sony admitted.
People in Kentucky?
No, but even Sony admitted at the press conference that HDTV penetration right now is at like 25%, which is low.
And we've written stories about how, X percent, which is a modest percentage, we've written it at 1UP News, about how people are not planning to adopt HDTV. But the caveat, the caveat that I'm going to include
those people
is
are stupid.
The caveat, though, is that Sony is the market leader. They are the market leader. I'm not going to ever argue that point.
Yeah, that sounds like what I say, but you make fun of me when I say that.
Yeah, they are the market leader.
When I say PS3 dominance is an inevitability, you're upset.
Well, I don't know that in North America, this generation, I don't think it's an inevitability like we talked about earlier. Like, I think that it's going to be competitive, but they are the market leader, and they are setting a scary standard.
So you know what kind of trips me out listening to this whole conversation is like we're willing to rationalize shit for anything. Like with it's so amazing.
We're gamers.
Dude, we'll so rationalize the
defend the Hive.
It's like.
Well, it was like when.
No, wait. Let me finish the thought here because it's so funny. It's like 360. Shit, it doesn't have HDMI. Oh my God, it's horrible. And then like PS3. Oh, it's all right that this one doesn't have HDMI. And then we're all talking about HD, but it's okay that the Wii doesn't have HD.
Well, because
Wii's not about.
It's not.
Okay, that's right.
It's
new gen, not next generation. Read 1UP.
New generation.
Thank you.
Dude, the point of all this is that all it comes down to is good games, and that was really all we were looking at today. It only matters.
E3's about having fun and
who
good
gives
games.
a shit about the box that's sitting on your television?
True.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Garnett.
Hold on. Samus says she gives a shit about what box is sitting on your television. She wants it to be a Nintendo box so you can play your damn game.
She likes the Chihuahuas.
Yeah, she does.
Oh God.
No, really.
Chihuahua
okay, so Luke,
2006.
You get painted in the corner all the time about being a fanboy. Do you really give a shit what box is under your television?
No, because like at the end of the day, I said this to you. I've said it to everyone who
you didn't say
I work
it to me.
with.
So why did you leave me out, dude?
You said it to me.
I've said it to you. Like regardless of what's going to happen, I will own every single console during the generation.
But
there will be compelling software that I want.
You are fabulously wealthy. I mean,
okay, but think outside. Think outside the whole
Bathing in the
box.
wealth that is 1UP News. Swimming in it.
You make so much money.
Tons. Oh God. What's up, dudes?
Fuck, Sam. What do we pay this guy? Nothing.
Yeah, not enough yet. Wait till it's 6-month raise time. It's about to get expensive.
I think Cesar just gave me the wrap it up. Hey, we're hungry, dude. We're gonna go eat some food. It's late. E3's been long, and you eat. All right.
So what was it? What was he wanted us? What did you want us to wrap it up? You wanted to wrap it up.
No, I don't like. I'm not ready to just wrap it up yet.
Best playable, best video, and best console, right?
Playable, best playable, best game period, including playable and demo experience, and best console.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, Shane.
Garnett, you start.
All right, yeah, sure.
Garnett, lead us off. Lead us off, dog.
I can't go anywhere else. Quake Wars, best playable.
All right.
Totally fucking blew me away. Loved dealing with them. And like when I took them their nominations, you know what's really cool is when you go to a developer that's like still honest. Like these guys were mod makers like 5 or 6 years ago, and they built their team up, and they were. If you had seen the look on the face.
So you're saying this is a mod?
No, not at all. Not at all, dude. They have done so much work on this, but that's where they started. I mean, these guys started off like being hardcore coders on their own time who wanted to take the time to become game coders. You know, they had other professional IT careers.
Like the CS guys, the original CS guys.
They made a mod, right? Yeah.
Right, and so I'm like talking to Paul Wedgwood, who's the owner of Splash Damage and like the leader of that group, and he was so thrilled that we were giving them nominations for awards. It was like so rewarding to give that to them. So great game. I would totally have gone back to play more of it if I had time.
All right,
next one was
best overall, not playable.
Best period.
Best experience.
Best period, dude. Mass Effect.
All right.
Mass Effect because that totally plays to me. I love the.
We know you love it. Okay, best console.
Best console. I'm kind of two-pronged win to Microsoft.
PC?
And PC's rolled into it because with Live Anywhere, the 360 Vista combination is going to dominate.
I think it's awesome. I think that was like the first thing that Microsoft's done this gen, and including the previous gen, period. The first thing Microsoft's done that has hinted at me at true progression in gaming.
Okay, and I got to keep it real, but I'm going to agree with John Davison, who told this to me, so I cannot take credit for this on my own, but Microsoft will be the market leader because of what they're doing with Vista. They are going to move into a position where they own the gaming space more than anybody else because of Live Anywhere and Vista and 360 integration.
All right. So
bold.
Moving ahead, for me, Shane, best playable. I didn't get to play Assassins, and I didn't get to play Gears of War, so those could have been it. But when I played, I'm giving it to Wii Sports. It's amazing. It's so fun. I can imagine playing it for the rest of my life. It's really, really fun. For best overall, I'm giving it to Spore and MGS4. I think they're both amazing. It's a tie. And best console.
Ties are like kissing your sister, but here I think it's okay.
I'm from Kentucky. And best console, I'm giving it to DS. Amazing, showing like 30 good games.
I think that's good. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's my turn because we're going clockwise.
No, it's your turn.
All right.
Joe.
Well, I'm a PlayStation guy, so I didn't play most of the other systems. So take that into consideration.
Fanboy.
I am a fucking fanboy.
You were earning your dollars, dude.
That's right, bitch.
We
you got a problem with that?
You see his money hat? It's beautiful.
I will
beautiful money
your head.
It's like this wonderful like skull cap of money.
Crown.
Because I'm bald, so I can't wear the brim hat. So it's a skull cap of money. It's awesome.
So all right.
Okay.
So best playable. Play Assassin's Guild.
I want to say Resistance, but I have to go with Warhawk. And here's why. Here's why.
Surprising.
Not because it was that good, but because the tilt controller fucking worked.
But you got to get
against all odds, against all expectation, it fucking worked.
You got to give it to Sony because nobody else had that controller. Nobody else knew about it. Like seriously,
except for Gaff. What's up, kids?
But third parties didn't know about it.
Yeah, host prerogative. I got to cut the shit off right there because I totally forgot about it. Fucking Guitar Hero 2, dude.
Doesn't count.
No, dude. YYZ on Guitar Hero. Oh my god. So Skip and I walk up to play the shit, and we're like sitting down. I know the song really well. We talked about it while we were down there, and it is so awesome the way they did the note work.
All right, fanboy. Let's move on.
Shut up, man. Get the hell out of my space.
Did you play the bass or did you play?
He played bass. He played bass. It was
Are you
so
serious?
rocking.
You guys starting a band or what? Come on, when is the band going to start?
We played bass on YYZ on
Gay Sauce will be playing our first show.
We're
complete.
We totally completed that shit.
Oh
it's awesome. So we walk up for the first time though. We're like playing, and I'm like, my fingers are falling off, and we can't figure it out. We're like, all right.
I'm saying if they have Rush, they need fucking Drum Hero. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, hell yeah,
dude. YYZ,
Geddy Lee,
dude.
The YYZ is
my
amazing.
Money's on that's the next game from Red.
Actually, I hear they have something really big that Sony's going to publish that blows Guitar Hero away for PS3 exclusive.
I can't confirm that I've heard that.
Band Hero,
same thing.
Where it's all.
Anyway, dude.
All right,
totally amazing. We
best experience.
Freaking love that YYZ, amazing, and we had to turn it down to medium to get through it. That game is going to be on the very top tip.
All right, best playable experience, Joe.
Playable was Warhawk because the tilt controller works against all expectations. Non-playable, there's absolutely no question. It's Assassins on the Sony platform.
You know, Joe, some people got to play Assassins.
Yeah, you can go straight to hell, dude.
That's cool. That's cool.
You can go.
I didn't get to play.
You can fuck off and you can die.
I didn't get to
play. Hey, wait a minute. Hey,
best
play
console,
together.
PS3
different magazines, but it's all in the same family.
Are you forced to say PS3?
That's the thing. Like
no, it's like I have to focus on the PlayStation stuff because like I need to cover this shit,
Adam
right?
Sessler, look at that.
So,
it's Adam Sessler.
Poolside.
TV's Adam Sessler.
Adam Sessler, welcome to the show.
Adam Sessler's
star of television and movies.
You should ask Adam Sessler what the best thing at E3 is.
And non-playable is Assassins. I'll give him my headset. Non-playable is Assassins. Consoles, three-way tie for third place.
All right.
Because no one had anything really
get
impressive.
One comment from
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Sessler.
One comment from Adam.
Yeah. No, I want to hear Adam's top three. Like, you were at Gears when I was today. Earlier.
Yeah, Gears. That is after getting to play the multiplayer easily. That was
it.
That's
wow. I mean, I had to change pants.
Adam.
I mean, it was like
Adam. Did Cliffy actually deliver? Cliffy B. He's totally delivered.
Yeah. I mean, he's the guy who loves games. I mean, that's the thing. As long as I've known him, the man loves his games, and he knows what people who love games want to have happen, and that's definitely
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the Wii completely drove me crazy. I love
like Wii
it
Sports?
so much.
Wii Sports? You play that?
Wii Sports. Yeah. Awesome. I mean, it's like something that like you'll look at it graphically and you think,
my mom would play Wii Sports.
Exactly. My girlfriend might play.
So
Wii
what's
Sports.
the best non-playable thing you saw? That's just like a trailer.
I unfortunately overheard you with Assassin's Creed.
All right, Assassin's Creed.
I went with just the crowd in that, and the way that they wouldn't bump into each other, they push each other away. It was wow. I mean,
that's what I was digging on. That was really cool because it got rid of the whole, oh my god, I have to sneak every second. I can actually be blended it into the crowd and do something more interactive.
And I think in the setting, it's like, wow, that's, I don't know what Ubisoft does and how they get these brain trusts they can pull off games that are a little bit daring, both in the like concept and then in the execution.
I heard that the guys who made Prince of Persia 1, after that, they started working on Creed, and 2 and 3 were made by other people.
Oh, yeah, they were.
That's what I heard. So it was like 5 years of development.
There is a big different feeling between those two games. But yeah, I got it. Wow.
So best platform, and that includes you can pick PC if you want.
I like how you backed that in there, Shane.
Yeah, I think I overheard what you just
Windows
said.
Vista, I think the PC though is a viable platform for the first time in a long time.
Like
it is. I think in terms of my personal excitement for games, the strong lineup of Mass Effect, Gears of War, and 2 Human for the 360. It's like I haven't seen that in the first year of a console release. And
Hell yeah! I'm right there next to you.
Hell yeah!
Right. PC, nice second.
A strong good Shane, nice knowing you, man. Been fun.
All right.
I'm starting to tip the scales out of your favor, bud.
Adam Sessler, we didn't even give him a performance fee, so thanks for coming on.
Hey, I'm just going to throw out a shout and say, watch X-Play, please. We love you all.
Absolutely.
I
love you too, X-Play. I'm glad that we could get him on. I think that's great.
Adam Sessler.
I think that's awesome.
So Luke. Everyone wants to know Luke. Luke, you're up last.
I don't know that everyone necessarily wants to know. What are my categories? What do I got?
Best playable.
Best playable.
Best playable. I'm actually not going to say Gears of War. Gears of War was a lot of fun today. But as far as like a game that has sort of mastered that RE4 perspective, like no game to me was more fun than Lost Planet.
Wow,
and
really?
What the fuck,
dude? That is weird.
And I know that
Lost Planet's good, but it's not that good.
I know that it is. And it is.
What's up, Blue Dragon?
And it is. Yeah, it is not a hip choice.
Is that a Capcom money hat?
It is not a cool choice. Yeah, like hey guys, make Metal Gear or Mega Man Powered Up 2, please.
I think that's a money wig.
No, really, like we talked about a little earlier, like 4 segments ago.
Hold on, we have more television stars like walking down the side of the pool.
Wow,
here.
it's the 90-degree celebrities.
The 90-degree flash turns are awesome. I love it. I love it.
Love it.
So best playable, like I had a lot of fun with Lost Planet.
All right,
I will play it again, and I will buy it.
Be brave.
Come on.
Best overall experience non-playable.
Come on. No, wait a minute. We really gonna let him?
No, let him go. Let him go.
You're gonna
let him go, dude.
All right.
Best non-playable experience. Everyone's really into Mass Effect. Mass Effect is awesome, but no game at the show gave me goosebumps like Halo 3.
All right.
A rampant Cortana who has absolutely lost her mind.
Seemed a little pissed off.
Well, think about it this way. In terms of the Halo universe, she's all Master Chief knows.
I'm getting a fanboy vibe. You're a fucking fanboy. Best console, dude.
Listen, you can call me a fanboy, but I'm also the only person who took Bungie to task for their multiplayer in games journalism.
All right. Best platform, dude. What do you got?
That's some.
Are you gonna say 360?
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Because I'm gonna after we end, I'm gonna fucking throw you in the pool, dude. I think they have 3 good games.
Way too close to the pool
and you know what? That's 3 good games more than Microsoft has. Or Sony, yeah, it's Sony. Like MGS4, like literally the MGS4 trailer.
You know it's gonna be good, but it's a long way away.
No, at the PS3 conference, like it was awesome.
But it's a long way away.
That is like Jesus coming back to Earth.
Dude, Halo 3 a long way away too.
I talked with Shane Kim about it today, and I said, listen, you guys blew it with Halo 2. I said he like got this fucking.
I bet he appreciated that.
He had an afraid look at his face.
Did he call you an asshole too?
No, he was like, what do you mean? No,
he's too nice to call you.
I knew that Shane Kim liked me because Davison told me that he was a fan. And Shane Kim was like, really? We blew it with Halo 2. And I was like, yeah, dude, you released it late in the console cycle when your system had already lost the war. And if Bungie misses the 2007 release of Finish This Fight for Halo 3, again, Microsoft is done. Because that's the linchpin that Microsoft has. The fate of Microsoft, unfortunately, Shane's right, lies in the power of the most powerful IP in games. And the most powerful IP in console games
is Metal Gear.
Is Halo. How much ever, dude? How much? Just fucking shut up. How much did Metal Gear 3 sell?
Wait. It sold $1 million. It sold $1 million.
It sold $1 million.
But wait.
Over its lifespan, and Halo 2 sold what?
But
2.4 day one.
I'm gonna surprise everybody by saying I think Microsoft has what it takes to make Gears of War as big as Halo, and we'll see what happens in November. It's gonna be an amazing week when fucking Wii and PS3 and Gears of War come out, and it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be a great week.
And that's what we're ending with. Garnett, let's take us out of here. We're hungry.
Garnett, get us out. Get us out.
So it's food time, and you guys got a whole week to sit here and chew up all this stuff we thrown at you here's what we want to chew up from you. You've heard about us argue about all this shit at E3. How is Holiday 06 going to play out? What's going to happen?
That week, what are you going to spend your money on, kids?
What are you going to spend your money on? Who's going to be the big winner? Which title?
Gears of War?
And even better.
What's up, we? Come to my house and get drunk.
I'm going to get one, dude. I'll be there.
You're invited.
50% of the titles we saw aren't going to make Holiday. They're going to do the slide.
Sorry, Q Human. Right? See you next year.
Definitely.
Dennis is a good guy.
He's a great guy. I love Dennis.
Shout out to Dennis.
Sony is saying that all of their games are prototypes. I'm making air quotes here.
PS3 is going to be huge. You won't even be able to buy it. It's going to cost $2,000.
Oh my god, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be like a diamond rough.
All right, we got to go, dude.
Dinner,
it's over.
Dinner, let's go. What's up, steak?
All right.
See you, kids.
All right.
It's
over.
Everybody,
One Up crew, hang on a sec.
We're going to thank the entire One Up crew, the video crew, Skip Pfister, Garnett, everybody putting in a great week. It's awesome.
They love me there.
All right, kids. On that note, we're out.
This has been One Up Yours, a production of the Ziff Davis Game Group and part of the One Up Radio Network. One Up Yours is hosted by Garnet Lee and John Davison, produced by Andrew Pfister and Mike Ing, and is published every Friday afternoon at podcasts.oneup.com and at the iTunes Music Store.
What's up? I'm not in the fucking credits.